Captain Toby. Arctic Sweat Gaming, you can't say bomb on an airplane game. It's like a curse word. Oh no, it's 12:30. Mom and Dad are gonna be mad. Fat makes a goal playing mistake. He's like, oh well. When I do it, I'm like, ah! Goose said, Fat, how tall are you? I can ride a roller coaster. I can definitely go on a roller coaster. I know that was like our second or third connection already. So that's really cool. Whoa, look at that guy fly. Oh my goodness. Yo, what is going on? They're bouncing like crazy there. Thanks for the cheer, Sloppy. Yo, everybody's landing except for like 3 people. Yo, did you guys see that? That was intense. It costs more to be negative than it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. But I want a strong mouth. Oh my goodness. $462. I want a butter landing, and I also want to send it off. And once I send it off, that's when I'll be good. Oh, let's go! We're going somewhere. What is happening? Bye-bye. Okay, we're going this way now. We're going to see the houses. This is crazy. Alright, let's switch to Tower 2 now. Alright, where's this 777? It's right here. Let's go. Come on, park the wrong way for me, please. Please. Oh, just said, why do I miss the best stuff? Maybe you should never leave. Yo, what's up everybody? Nice to see you all. This is Jeremy with Phat Airlines, and today we have the World of Airports 3.0 preview. I know a lot of you guys are excited about this. I want to thank you all for joining me today. We got, wow, 300 people on YouTube. We're also live streaming on Twitch, and if it's your guys' first time watching me, welcome. We stream World of Airports. I give some gameplay tips. I give some information about World of Airports, and you know, the World of Airports developers were nice enough to let me have a preview copy, a developer copy of World of Airports 3.0, and they asked me to stream it. So what we're going to be doing is going over the UI, and I'm going to go over this dev blog one more time, so that way you guys can all remember what's going to be included in 3.0, and that way we can make sure we're checking out those things, right? So of course we have the new UI, which is pretty exciting. I won't spoil anything about the new UI, but you can see it right here. You know, they updated the entire UI. It's like a dark mode, right? You know, a lot of the buttons are in the same place. It does take a little bit getting used to, but you'll see me playing it live. We also have GRU. Now, GRU, we are not playing today. We are not playing GRU, so I'm sorry to all you guys who are fans of Brazil, right? But unfortunately, we're not playing GRU today. We're going to be focusing on the other airports that are currently in the game. That way we can take a look at how that works. But you guys can join me when World of Airports 3.0 officially releases, and I will be live streaming the new airport when that comes out. So that's pretty cool. You got triple stand gates coming there. I haven't even played it myself, so it'll be my first time playing when 3.0 comes out for everybody. In this 3.0 update, we do have the aircraft size categorization with A, B, C, D, E, and F, and G. I haven't seen an AN225 yet though, so you get to see how that functions and how that works. It did take me a while to figure out the advanced runway lighting system, but the advanced runway lighting system is in this preview 3.0, so that's pretty cool. We also have the CRJ fleet overhaul included in this update. Of course, you got bug fixes and minor enhancements, and when will 3.0 be released? It's still, we haven't received any other information yet, so it's still expected to arrive within Q1 of this year, which is you know, January through March. So today is just a preview. I know there was like some people trying to hype themselves up that, you know, oh, it might release today, but I know that's definitely not happening. So I'm sorry to get your hopes down, but I hope you enjoy this 3.0 preview. And what I want to do, there's so many people in the chat. I'm gonna do my best to read your guys' messages. I know we have a lot of things. Yo, Karant, thank you for the 5 AED. I don't even know what AED is, but I appreciate it, bro. It's pretty cool of you, man. AED. Anyways, I appreciate it, bro. So what was I saying? I forgot. But yeah, we're gonna be watching your chats, so that way you guys, if you have a feedback, we want to get your feedback, right? I'm gonna take some of the core feedback that that most of you guys have, and especially the one, like even the ones that I don't agree with, I'm still going to give it to the developers. So we want to get your feedback. We want to share anything. Some things might be buggy. I know, you know, it's not the final version, so there might be some bugs. If you notice something not acting right, still, you know, mention it to me, so that way we can report it to the devs, so when the full version comes out, it can be working. But enough of that, right? You guys are here so you can see World of Airports 3.0. So let's go. Where are the stream avatars? Not today, bro. Sorry. There's a lot going on. But yeah, so here's 3.0. I am playing on my main account. Oh, by the way, I don't want anybody freaking out, but I'm on the dev build, okay? So what that means is I'm on a different server than my main server, okay? So yes, I only have 61 in my Wikipedia. On my main account, I'm probably like, I'm pretty low too on my main account, you know, on my main server, but not 61 low, you know what I'm saying? So this is a separate build. You're not going to lose your account. You're not going to lose your progress. I'm just on the developer server right now, which is a completely different server than where we all game normally. Okay, so this is the home screen, right? You have your account up here. You got the Wikipedia over here. We can take a look. Even in the Wikipedia, you'll see These are some of the most recent planes that I unlocked into Wowipedia, right? So these are the most recent planes I handled that were brand new. So you can see that right here listed. You got the settings. Settings, the most exciting part of the game, right? You got sounds, music, audio. Hold on one second here. Okay, good. We got my sound on. I'm gonna leave the radio sounds on. I don't think I can hear it in my headphones though, so let me just change that real quick, because I want to make sure if it's annoying, I turn them off. But we're gonna leave the radio sounds on. We're gonna leave the music sounds on. We're gonna leave this the regular sounds on. I'm also gonna turn off my music. That way you guys can hear it how it is, okay? We got 3D landscapes and battery saver mode. I'm turning off battery saver mode so we can get the best quality. Then you have 3 new options here, right? You got the automatically turn on landing minigame, which is pretty cool. Automatically turn on parking minigame and automatically turn on de-icing. So that's pretty nice. Then you got the landing minigame controller with the gyroscope or the joystick. I'm playing on an iPad, so I like the joystick better. And do you want the joystick to be regular or inverted? Then of course you got the languages. I don't know if any new languages were added on this one. I apologize, but that's the list for you guys to take a look. All right, so that's for that. Then of course you have play button and a follow button. So let's go ahead and check out, right? Here we go. So last airport I played before the stream here was LHR. So it took me right to LHR, but you'll see the airport selection is completely different, right? There's no more a menu. You're taken directly to a map, and we're gonna spend a little bit of time here as well. So this is pretty awesome. You got the list over here on the right hand side that shows you all the airports that you can play, but you can also kind of go through the map and look for the airports, which is pretty nice, because especially if you're trying to send contracts to other players, this could be super helpful for you, right? So you have Leipzig, Innsbruck, you got all the airports here. Let's go across the map so you can see them all, right? And then you got Nagoya. Some of these airports I didn't unlock because I didn't need to play all the airports. I'm just trying to play a few of them. And like I said, don't be surprised. This is on the developer server, not on the production server. You are not going to lose any of your progress. I'm not even losing any of my progress when 3.0 officially comes out, okay? So here we go. On the right-hand side, you have the airport, right? And you got some information here. You got the ATC, right? The tower. You got the airport name. You got the stars, so you can see if I'm regional, or local, regional, or international. And then you have this right here. It says none. But if you look down here, it says arrivals 1. So we'll click on that later, so you can take a look. Then you got the temperature, and you got the class, the size of what size each airport can handle. So Innsbruck can handle up to C class passengers and up to C class cargo. You got Bari, which can do E class and for passengers, and C for cargo. Then you got Prague, which does F for passengers and G for cargo. So we're gonna go down here to Leipzig, right? We're actually gonna start. I'll start today at Leipzig because we have a special arrival, and you see here it has arrivals 1. So that's how you can tell if there's an arrival here. It'll also show up over here. You see when we went to Innsbruck, there was nothing there. Leipzig, you got it right down there. So you got Leipzig over here, the name, what level you are, the weather, the time, which is the time that it is currently at that airport. You got the stands. How many stands do you have for passenger? How many stands do you have for cargo? How many active runways? And it lists out all the active runways as well, and the number of unique arrivals. So we're not gonna actually, I know you guys really want to see the gameplay, but there's so much already here that I just kind of want to preview it to you so you guys can be excited for it, because I know I was pretty excited, and I know there's more to come in the future, so I'm looking forward to it. So there's an XP button here, so whether you have the airport unlocked or not, you can take a look at the rewards for the airport, which was like a huge pain before. You couldn't tell what the rewards were. So now you can scroll through all the airport levels. You can see what's available, what you have without even going into the airport. So here we go with Leipzig. Nothing's really changed, right? They might have added more levels, but the rewards are from the older levels are still the same here. And then you got the last few levels. All right, there we go. Oh, all right. Then you got the I button here, which is really, really cool. It gives you some information about this airport. So you can see the annual capacity of the airport IRL in real life, the coordinates, the elevation, and when that airport was established. And you get a nice fun fact about the airport and a nice overhead screenshot of that airport. So that is pretty cool. And then right here, because we have a unique arrival, we can actually preview what the unique arrival is before we even get into the airport. And I'm not sure, can we preview it for an airport we don't have locked? Yes, we can. So that's also pretty cool as well, right? So I think it might help people who are like doing the Woapedia. You might be able to see, oh my God, there's an event here and I need this plane in my Woapedia. You might want to consider unlocking it. But not only that, it also now tells you how you can unlock the airport, right? You can complete level 40 at Bari to get it, or pay 6 gold planes to unlock Prague. So yeah, there we go. No 767 at in. I don't know. We'll have to take a look at what class that plane is, right? Is it C class, the 767? I don't think so, but we'll have to take a look, right? So LHR has an event plane. What event plane there? All right, cool. I don't know where to start, guys. I'm thinking I'm gonna go to LHR. LHR, it's 12:48, so we're gonna have nighttime runway, which is awesome. And let's go to LHR and let's take a look at the actual game itself. So you see here, this is me at level 13 on this account. We can actually go to Innsbruck like a brand new account, but I know when Kubasan did his preview, you know, he had a brand new Innsbruck. So I figured, let me show you an airport that has a little bit more progress, you know, going on in it. And you know, LHR, same cameras, right? And you got the UI. So we're gonna go through the UI, and first, you know, I'm going to start up here. I'll rotate around. You know, I'm not in a hurry to land planes. So what we have here is we have the LHR, the premium pass, right? So you can click on this. I know in my in one of my videos I mentioned that I thought this icon underneath the 10C was a settings icon, but nah, it's a sun. It's a sun. It's not sunny out, but it's not cloudy. There's like no weather. You know, so you got that. You got the, you know, premium pass as well. You got the shop. You have the contract capacity, which is a little updated here, right? You can see how many active contracts and how many free slots you have. You can even see it right here, right above. You can click on handling crew. You can see how many are assigned, how many are free. Let's take a look later to see how it looks when you have the temporary handling crew, right? You have your gold planes, your silver planes, and your wallers. Wallers are for your single airport. Then you got the radar. Radar view updated with the new colors, right? And it has a little legend that tells you. Now this radar view will only show you airports that you have contracts connected with. So that's why it's not that full compared to like some other people might have when they play. You see up here, you got an option to hide the UI. You also have options to filter, right? Favorited planes, arrivals, and departures. One of the cool things too is when you click on the buttons, it tells you what it means. So that's cool. You can also censor camera. So, and then there's no active flights because I don't have any flights going out. I don't have flights returning. So once you have flights going out or returning, you'll have a list in here. Probably could have gone there later, right? But anyways, then we have the 2D map view. 2D map view, this is as far as we can zoom out. I asked Kuba about that, and he said it's something that they're working on to see if we can get some more zoomed out 2D view, especially like here at LHR. But there are some system limitations with that, so hopefully we see that soon. But this is a 2D view, pretty same, right? And then of course you got the camera views, which I cycled through already. You have this button right here, which helps you with the camera settings. You have the hide the UI button. You have the center camera on object, so that way when you click on a plane, it'll center on that plane. Or if you click on a stand, it'll center on the stand. And then you have this, highlight airplanes. It'll highlight the airplane and it'll show its path. So you'll highlight it, and then once we like push it back, it'll show its path, which way it's going to the runway. All right, then we got the airplane cards here, which you'll see a lot of. And of course you have arriving airplanes.
Up and push back approved.
Oh, thank you. We have arriving airplanes. We have airplanes on airport. We have departing airplanes. We have handling taking too long. We have favorite airplanes. We have requiring action. Well, let me turn some of these filters off, right, so you can see it. So hold on, you got favorite airplanes, right? Favorite airplanes right there. Then you have other player airplanes. I'm not gonna have any other player airplanes. It's literally impossible because you guys are all on production and I'm on dev server. Then you have my airplanes right here, and then you got unique airplanes. Speaking of unique airplanes, let's go ahead and take a look at the contracts, right? So we have, you know, equipment, we have construction, we have contracts, we have fleet, and the tower. So let's take a look at the contract because we have a special contract here, right? So you can accept the contract or you can click on the eye. The eye is pretty cool. You got the information about, you know, the how you're going to make money on this plane, right? So it gives you a nice little estimate on what it's going to look like, what services do you need, and how long do you need to handle it. Over here it tells you how long do you have until you have to accept the contract. So I have 22 hours to accept this contract, otherwise I might lose out on my opportunity. Then you got the info section here. Info, it tells you what size the plane is, it tells you the air crew, it tells you range, all about this single airplane. And then of course the rewards. Rewards are really important because sometimes, right, every once in a while we might get a plane that'll reward us in gold planes. So always take a look at the rewards for event planes, or check out, you know, social media, World of Airports Discord, Phat Airlines Discord. We always try to make a shout out whenever there's a contract available for gold planes. So we're going to go ahead and accept this contract. Are you sure you want to accept? Yes, we do. All right, then of course we have local contracts, regional, international, random play arrival, and map contract. All right, so we're gonna go to local contract, generate, same as it was before, nothing really changed there. So, you know, same information here. Now it's a lot easier to tell what the next tiers are, right? So as you upgrade, it's not like a hidden button that you had to find before. Now it's easily scrollable, and you still have the info and the economy information there too. So we're gonna go ahead and accept that too. We got random player arrival. We're not going to get any random arrivals because, like I said, dev server. But then you have, after that, you have the map contract. Map contract's pretty cool. You can filter by passengers, you can filter by cargo, you can filter by size, and you can filter by airport name. So let's say I just wanted like New York or new, right? I typed in filter new. I can get all the airports that have new in their name. So I think that's pretty awesome. Could be helpful, right? Or maybe not, who knows, but I'm sure people will use it. Then you got the size filter. Let's see where can we get any G planes? Any G planes? Nah, not yet. And then of course F tier, which is those large planes too. And you can see here some of these planes. So you got the show offers button. Let me turn off the filter here. That way I can see all the planes, right? So you got international. Because I'm not an international airport, it still costs silver planes, right? Once you become an international airport, it should not cost silver planes anymore. But you got all the choices here, just like you had before. So that's all essentially the same there. Let me see here. This live will not show GRU. Nah, sorry, man. That will be for the live stream, for when it releases. I hope you guys join. So all right, that is for that. Then you got the active menu. You can see all the different airplane cards, right? You can see how I'm progressing through each of these contracts. Some of these contracts I'm at 0 out of 1. So I'm here 2 out of 4 with 2 positives. I'm here with 3 out of 4 with 3 positives. So you can see what the state is for each of these airplanes. You can even still claim the rewards here, or when they land. And yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get this special plane landed, and let's take a look at the runway, right? That's one of the features that was added, and we're here at nighttime at LHR. So let's take a look at the runway, right? So you got this airplane that's landing. I'm going to turn off the highlight, right?
Cathay
so you got
4359er, runway 27 left, cleared to land, wind 30 degrees.
Yep, that's the radio, right? So you have the airplane that's landing, and you can see the runway, right? So we're gonna go ahead and just keep going through the runway. You can see here, you see here, yeah. Then you got the yellow lights here, like caution, right? You got the lights over here, and let's turn the camera around, right? So in order to turn the camera around in this point of view, you just want to use 2 fingers, and you can rotate them, so that way you can see what it looks like. But you can see here, right, how it goes from yellow to red. That's pretty cool. And then you can see the runway over here. And we're going to rotate it over here, and you can see
taxi to stand 212.
how the approaching lights show up, right? So I thought that was pretty awesome. Pretty interesting to see. Let's see if we see more. Let's see if we see more coming up.
Royal Air Maroc 4707, runway 27 left, cleared to land, wind 16 degrees, 5 knots.
All right. Where's 50 Waller's helicopter in LHR? What's up, you mayor? I don't think there is a 50 Waller's helicopter in LHR. All right, cool. So let's keep playing, right? We want to keep playing. That's what I want to do. So we got the filters. I went through that. Of course, you got the construction. The equipment menu here, which is pretty interesting. They added a count button here, so you can buy more than one at a time. Very helpful if you want to buy like 5 at once or something like that. So that's pretty cool to see. I use that a couple of times, especially when I'm starting up a brand new airport, and I bought Wallers with gold planes to kind of start it up. It was real easy to do that. Or if you're getting these level up rewards, you're getting 5,000, you could probably buy like 2 boarding instead of having to push it multiple times. So that was pretty cool. That is essentially the same though, right? All right, let's rotate my camera. Let's put it like back to normal so you guys can see it. And then we got the construction menu. So this is a pretty interesting menu, right? The construction menu, you got the filters on the right hand side, the same as before, just updated for the new plane sizes. So you got the passenger stands. So like I know the cargo stands are over here, so you can take a look. Passenger stands, you got cargo stands, right? You got terminals. I already have the terminals unlocked here, but I have a few airports where I don't have everything unlocked still, so we can go there. You can see A stands. And there's a big there is a change here, by the way, on how this works. All right, so let me show you guys. Let's go to a stand that has F right over here, right? So what I want to show you guys is now when it comes to buying passenger stands or even cargo stands, you have to essentially buy all the tiers if you want to get to F. All right, so stand size A costs 2,000 Wallers. Stand size B costs another 4,000 Wallers. Stand size C costs another 6,000 Wallers. Then stand size D costs another 8,000. Then you add 10,000 to get stand size E and 12,000 to get stand size F. So if you want to unlock them all at once, that's what you can do that, or you can unlock them one at a time. So stand size A 2,000, right? Now if I want to buy stand size B, I don't have to pay 4,000, 6 like I mentioned before, or you can just buy them all at once. So that is a big change. It's a very slight change, but it kind of makes sense, right? Because like for me, like when I thought about it, like how does a stand in real life that is able to handle a large or X plane but still can't handle a small plane? That don't make sense unless that stand is not equipped for it, which you'll see in some other airports they have that. All right. So that is different. And then we have the fleet menu. I'll go to the you got my fleet. I bought a few planes here. You got the heart planes, and then you have this button up here which you can filter by size. And then of course you have the info button here, which has a little bit more information for your own planes. All right, so you have of course like the status card right here, and then you see how everything for your own your own fleet planes, you're paying a lot of money but you're getting money for the flight tickets, so you can see what the profit is looking like. You can see the contract total, you can see the requested services, you can see the contract status here, and you can see the info on the plane. This, I think this is new. Distance flown. I don't think that existed before. So I thought that was pretty interesting to see. I was excited to see that. And then of course you got the reward tiers. You can see how long, where you can get to level, once you get to tier 10, what those rewards will look like. And then you got maintenance. You got a maintenance condition bar. You have a nice little icon for maintenance now. And then you could see the cost for how much the maintenance is going to cost. So yeah, that is for that. I have not tried to sell a plane yet. I don't usually try to sell planes, so maybe we could try to do that later. Where's the new airport? We're going to be playing GRU when it comes out officially. We're not going to, this stream is not really for GRU. It's for the 3.0 preview for the UI. But I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your interest. All right, so we're going to go ahead and land this plane. And let's watch this plane so I can look at you guys in chat.
DHL America 0.
Are you able to close down stands you don't need? I'm still trying to figure that out. It doesn't look like you can, but I think the tower managers, they have some new options in there, which I think are pretty cool. We'll go to the tower managers next. These new stand costs are much higher than the old ratings. That is true, but if you think about it differently, like you can unlock an A stand for 2,000 wallers, which will get you 1 handling crew and 1 contract capacity. So I think it'll still be a good idea to buy, like on a new airport, to buy more A stands. That way you can get more contract capacity and handling crew, because in a brand new airport, you really want to get more planes coming in. That way you can handle more, and that way you can not just handle, you can handle more planes, which will get you more wallers, and that'll help you, really level up the airport and get XP as well. So that is really important, I think. Alright, we're going to go to the tower manager next, because we did have a few planes land already. So tower manager, there's a lot of improvements made to the tower manager, and I think we saw a few of them before, right? So you have the approach manager, you have the departure manager, delivery manager, and the ground manager. You also have an activate all button, and each of these options have sliders. So you have the approach manager here, which has options to prefer the favorite airplanes, and you can also choose the arrival sequence. So for me, I changed the sequence so it's G, F, E, D, C, B, A. So that way size G will always land first, followed by F, and so forth. Of course, favorite airplanes are, because I have this toggled on, favorite airplanes are also going to be first. Then you have options here for speeding up. You can do a mild speed up, you can do a medium speed up, or you can do a high speed up, all right? And then you have duration, right? So you can do it up to, I think, 2 hours. And then, of course, the silver planes will adjust. Then you have the approach departure ratio. You can do 5-to-1 or 1-to-5. What this means is 5 airplanes will, well, this doesn't really apply in LHR, because LHR you have 1 runway for arrivals and 1 runway for departures. But on other airports, if you had like 1 runway airport or an airport runway that does both, for 5 arrivals, then 1 plane will depart. You can go the other way, so that way you have for 1 arrival, 5 planes will depart. And yes, the silver plane price did increase, but there's so many more features here. So then we have departure manager. Not as many features in departure manager, but you still have the approach departure ratio. If you make changes here, it'll affect it up for approach as well. So just FYI, because they're both kind of synced together, right? Then you have the delivery manager. You got the speed up options, you have the duration options, and then you have priority. So you can prioritize other players' airplanes, you can prioritize regular airlines, you can just click and drag whatever priority you want. So for me, I'm probably going to do my airplanes, then other player airplanes, and then airlines. We'll see if there's a better way to do it, and once the game comes out and I have other people's airplanes. But that's I think the way I'm going to go for now. And then you have prefer favorite airplanes, and you have stand preference again. This is for delivery, right? So this selects and assigns stands. So I would probably suggest to have the bigger size planes go first, so that way you're not having a B size plane occupying an F stand, or So that's what I think is one way you can kind of approach it. If for like disabling stands, just making sure you prioritize a size F on that list. Then you have the ground, which automatically manages pushbacks and runway crossings. So that's really cool. And my most exciting thing that I'm most excited about is the activate all button. So the activate all button is amazing. I've been using it constantly. I'm not going to use it right now because I want to use just a few tower managers at once so we could see them working. That way you could see how, you know, assigning planes, see how things work without the tower managers, because I know some of you guys play without the tower managers. I know some of you guys play with the tower managers. So we're going to do a little bit without them. But it's pretty cool. You could select what speed you want all the managers to be. So you're gonna get all 4, and you can pick the remaining time as well. So you can do 2 hours. And just so you guys can see here, if you want to do high speed, it's about 2,000 silver planes for 2 hours. All right. So I am not going to activate the tower managers just yet. What I am going to activate though is the approach manager, so that way we can make sure we get planes on the ground. That way we can continue to handle them. All right. So we're going to activate that for, let's say, 20 minutes here. I'm going to do high, so that way they're faster on the runway. And we're going to go ahead and hit yes. And now we have the tower. Now we have the tower manager active, and making sure any planes that we assign stands to are going to automatically land. So as you saw before, you can manually select planes and select them to land.
Speedbird 9
You have, okay, we got planes to handle. You got these options here, right? So you can look at the arrival planes, and we can look at my airplanes. You know, like I said before, I like I prefer my own airplanes because they give you much more wallers, your own fleet planes. So I'm usually going to prioritize my own fleet planes. That way I can get more wallers. And because I have this icon right here, sensor camera on object, same option that was there before, but because I have that turned on, I am able to, when I click on a stand, it takes me directly to that stand. Now, one other thing I want to show you guys too is, let's say you don't have any more stands, right? You need to buy a new stand. You can click on the stand here, or you can look through the list here, and you can see, you know, what size you need to purchase. Even this stand right here, which has only up to, which can handle F planes, you can buy the E stand, which is 30,000. You hit confirm and purchase, and now you have it again. Now you have that stand available. So pretty similar to how it worked before, just showing you guys how it works now. Then you got the planes here, so we're going to keep assigning planes to their stands, and that way we have an airport full of planes that we can handle. Now typically what you can do is you can also have the ground manager just do that. So that's probably what I'll do in the next airport we play here. But yeah. And Blob King says, if I'm not wrong, A plus B is S, C plus D is M, E plus F is L, and G is X. I think you're wrong, but let's take a look. All right. Let's go into offers here, and let's go to configure and buy. All right. I know this is another thing you guys want to see. Now, good thing is, now while we're here, because we have the arrival tower manager and we assign some planes, when we get back into LHR, we'll have some planes on the ground to handle, and make some progress, make some actual gameplay, right? But I know you guys are here. You guys are here to see the planes, right? Or see the UI. So we got, of course, the different airplanes here. So you have an unlock filter, you have a locked filter, you have passenger filter, cargo filter. Don't forget that some of these filters are can be combined. And then you got the size filter. You got A, B, C, D, E, F, no G. No G. I was hopeful when I first saw that. I was like, man, I hope we get a G. Nope, not yet, not yet. Maybe I know when asked the developers, they said that a cargo update was going to happen eventually. So maybe with that, we'll get a G plane, right, in our fleet. But anyways, let's go to a plane that we have already. Actually, we'll go to, you guys wanted to see the 767, right? So let's take a look. We'll go ahead and search by name, 762, which is a D plane, all right? So that is a D plane, and you can click this icon to hide that side menu so you can see more of the airplane itself. And then you have information about the airplane, right, just like you have on the contract cards. And then you have the maintenance information, which really what you want to pay attention to is the small check and the large check, how much that costs. You have the passenger configuration. You can still reference the destination, which takes you to a map. One thing that you see here with the map is you have the map legend, which tells you how you can send everything. Because the airplane right now is configured for 100% economy seats. It's probably a little bit more limited in where it can go. So what we can do, you can either go back and then update the configuration right here, or you can select on any airport. Let's say we wanted to see if we can send it over here to Pakistan. You can adjust I just went through that really quickly. But yeah, you click on the airport, you can look at the card here, click on the passenger icon right here, and that'll adjust the size. You can see here the profit per round trip, the maintenance, you can see the demand. So everything is right here on one card, so you don't have to switch to multiple sections. And the cool thing too is, as you're updating it here, the airports are also updating out there, so you can take a look to see how that looks, how that's updating. So that is for that. Then you got, of course, the color theme. Because my livery selected is Snow White, there's no colors to pick. So you have all the liveries available that you would before. And like I said before, any liveries or anything that you have already unlocked is going to carry over to 3.0. For me, I'm on the developer server, so it's a little bit different. But when the actual game comes out, we're going to have all of our stuff. You're not going to lose anything from going from current WOA to 3.0. Nothing's going to get lost. Nothing's going to have to be reset. Nothing like that. You know, to buy a new color, it still costs 1 gold plane, so nothing changed there. Of course, you got the different costs for deliveries. You can unlock and purchase the plane. It tells you how much everything is, same as before. So yeah, that is the airplanes. We're gonna go ahead and let's look through the list of airplanes here, so that way you guys can see what just take a look at the new airplanes, take a look at potential pricing, right? It's not all of this is final, so things might change. I gotta warn you, but some of it might be final, right? So you can make a decision. I know I'm always recommending to people that you should buy the CRJ9 now if you don't have it already. I mean, look right here, right? It says it's 6 gold planes. I think it's like 3 gold planes now, 4 less. I forget how much it is now, but I know it's not 6. So if you're interested in getting the CRJ9, now might be a good time to get it before the update comes out, because when these planes get a model update, their price goes up. All right. We have so yeah, also you can see the plane sizes, right? So there's only one A size plane, which is the DH8D, right? The only plane I don't have unlocked is the A size plane. So you have that as well. Then we have over here, we're into C size planes as well. I know a lot of people are asking about the 752 update, when that's going to get a remodel. Not in 3.0, but I know all the planes that don't have a remodel are going to eventually get a remodel in World of Airports. Okay, so that's going to happen. Even here, the DH64, same price as before. Let's look at the 762F here. Yeah, you got the C-17 still at 17 gold planes. That's another cheap plane. The Concorde is still at 1,000 gold planes. Nothing changed with that price. I know I have it unlocked, so you can't really see it. Sorry about that. And now we're into what? E-class planes. Yep, E-class planes. All right, E-class planes, and then you got F-class planes coming up soon, maybe. Yep, here's the A380. I think this was like 32 gold planes, something like that, but I know the price didn't change for this either. So still a great value, especially when you compare it to like the 78X here. The A388 was so much cheaper. So definitely, things can change. So, whatever I say here, it could always change by the time the update officially comes out. But definitely, maybe that'll help inspire you to decide to unlock a plane that you might not already have unlocked, because you see it's going to get a price increase. All right, so there we have the planes, the UI, and how to buy them. So that is pretty cool. Let's exit the hangar here, and we got planes on the ground. So we need to assign more plane stands, so you can do it manually. But what I'm going to do now, because we have 13 more planes, actually 13 planes waiting to land still. We're going to turn on that manager. We're going to turn on the delivery manager, so that way they can just automatically handle those landings, assigning stands. We'll take a look, since we already did all that. Now, when it comes to handling a plane, it's really very, very similar to how it was before. I see your question, Hammy. I'll get to that in just a second. Actually, I'll get to it now. Can we buy multiple planes at a time, like the equipment? So that is not currently in the game, but I think it's going to be in the game for the official 3.0 release. So I'm not sure if that's going to get delayed or not, but I think it's gonna. It is. I've seen a screenshot of it in the game, but it's not in my build. All right. What we have here, okay, so now it comes to handling an airplane, right? So you have, of course, you got the plane options. You can still go to airplane camera. Once you start handling a plane, just like before, you can't use this camera anymore. Then you have, the focusing on the stand. You have the focus sensor camera plane, the camera on the plane. Then you have the favorite icon, and then you have the info key, which gives you all the info for the plane. All right. You have down here the handling and the actual handling of the services. So what you can do here is you can hit the plus buttons like you did before, or there's a slider here and you can slide each of the each of the planes to how many handling crew you want. And then of course right down here you have the ramp agent. So I'm not going to activate the ramp agent here because I want you to see how handling a plane old school will work, or without the ramp agent. So I know some people don't use the ramp agent when they're handling planes. I think it's crazy.
Started TOBT in 19
I think it's always worth it, but everybody plays differently, and that's the cool thing about World of Airports, is that there's not like one way you have to be locked into play. Just because I recommend something, there's probably other people who do it a different way. So that's pretty cool. All right, we're gonna take a look at handling this plane, right? So you got, of course, the bus service or the boarding service, which will bring the buses here. You got the baggage service. Then you can still click on the icon to see what you need in order for that service to be handled. So still very much the same when it comes to handling. But you can also activate if you need to add more agents again, you can bring up the menu again and add the ramp agent here. You have the eye as well, which gives you more info. Ramp agent manages handling automatically, and adding more crew will speed up the handling. So I'm not going to be focused enough to make sure that this plane gets handled the proper way, but I just wanted to show you that you can still handle planes the proper way. The claim reward screen is also different. So you'll see here we are claiming the rewards from my A388, and it is a little bit updated, right? So you have here the currency, which is normal. You get the silver planes, you get the XP, you get your contract upgrade and contract extension, all the same there. But instead of just a claim button, now you have two options here: get rewards and upgrade, or get rewards and cancel. So in this case, I'm going to hit get rewards and upgrade. I think that saves us another click, right? There's a lot of little optimizations in here which save us a click when it comes to playing this game. You have the handling crew where you can just click and drag, right? Or tap and drag. You have the ramp agent, which is still another click, but it beats it having to tap this 14 times to get max handling crew, and then you have to hit start handling. So that, I think, is fantastic. Really, really nice. Really good quality of life update, I think. And I appreciated it. Wasn't there something about wind direction changing runway direction? That is for a future update. Definitely not in this update. I have not seen any runway changes. Alright, so of course you got regular handling of the crew. Let's go ahead and zoom in so you can see a little bit of it going on. And I'm going to look at you guys' chats. And of course, like before, once the handling begins, the camera icon disappears.
Started TOBT in 11:38 minutes.
You hope X stands mean F tier. So if you look, you're on YouTube, but if you look back, we went through all of the planes in the fleet menu. So you can see, I think most of the X planes are F. I think all of the X planes are F tier. but you can see that some planes, like some E and F or D and E planes, have like those are all large planes in the past, but they're now classified or split up into 2 classifications.
DHL America 08422.
2D view and zoom level. So yeah, 2D view and zoom level hasn't changed. One of the things Hammy and everybody else, I did mention it to the developers. I was like, hey, a suggestion for you guys, but we want to make sure, especially like an airport like LHR, you can't really see the entire airport. We would love to see the entire airport, right? I know you guys would agree. Let me know in the chat right now if you would love to see the entire airport in 2D view. If you know, of course, if your device can support it, right? I think what happens now is there's a lot of resources that have to be loaded in order for that to kind of be included. So
SNB handling.
Yeah, it's not in this update, but it might be in the future. Something that they're looking into. The only G plane is the A225. Yeah, that makes sense.
GVC.
And it's the only plane. It's one of the planes that we cannot own in our fleet. So when I went into the fleet menu, right, we couldn't do it. And actually, if we go back into the main menu, if you go back into earlier in the video, we saw at Leipzig we have an A225 special event right now, right? So you can see there that we can go to Leipzig and get that A225. So yeah, this is a basic, you know, all the gameplay is essentially the same, very much the same. The only the main thing I had to get used to was finding like the icon that I'm looking for, because you know, muscle memory is a thing. But you know, for me, it's this exclamation point, right? Which planes are requiring action? That's probably the one I'm going to go to the most. You also have, you know, landing airplanes on airport and departing airplanes. Oh yeah, let's go to departing airplanes, right? So I don't have the tower manager turned on for departure or for ground, so I need to manually push back planes, and I need to manually tell planes to depart, right? So we have to line up the plane. Works very similar to how it did in regular 2.0.
Line up and wait, runway 27 right.
Ike said he loved to see the whole airport. Juan said one quality of life would be to configure that all airplanes are assigned max number of handlers and ramp agent, not select for each one. I think, Juan, I think I agree with you, bro. But I think the developers also want you to play the game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not everything can be automatic. There's a lot of things that are already automatic in this game, and I think that's like, it could be just my point of view from like the words that they've said in chats and videos and things like that. But I think that they want you to play the game. They don't mind a few automations, but like they want you to play, you know. So many people just want like an idle game, which is not what this game is at all. This game has like some kind of idle aspects to it, but it's not an idle game. One thing I almost always I have to make sure I don't forget is to turn on the ramp agent. But one thing that you can always do is come back and add it back in, so it's not a big deal if you miss it.
169 or 7.
And then of course, I get to show you when we run out of handling crew what happens. So we'll go there as well. We're gonna go to an A319 now. Oh wow.
4676.
So we have, you know, we don't have enough catering to handle this. So you have the same option as before to add more crew. You can also, you know, go back into the equipment menu down here. Whoops, wrong button. Equipment menu, and you can get an idea. So like here, you know, maybe I want to buy a few more catering, a few more cargo. You know, I have 2 working, I have 0 available with 6 working over here, so it might make sense to buy more, so that way I don't run into capacity limits or timing limits. All right, we want to show the handling crew running out. So we have 5 handling crew. All right, here we go. So in this case, for this plane right here, right, I have 97 out of 97. So then this pops up, not enough handling crew. Now the good thing is I can actually start handling this right now because I have enough to like finish this in the green, but I don't have a ramp agent, so I can't do a ramp agent. But it gives you a purchase icon, which takes you to the purchase screen right here, right? So you have the same options as before to buy it for silver planes, to buy which is a temporary handling crew. You have a free 3 additional handling crew, and I think afterwards, actually let's claim the 3. I think you could watch an ad for another 3. I actually never claimed a handling crew in the beta. Yeah, that's good. You could purchase more handling crew over here. That's temporary, but for 4 hours. And then you got 5 handling crew that you could purchase that are permanent. Then of course you have the contract capacity, which probably should be the same cooldowns. Let's double check. Yeah, 48 hours and 24 hours. Let's check the cooldowns over here. 24 hours. Yep. Let's check the cooldown on that. 4 hours. 24 hours. 24 hours. And I'm not watching an ad. And then of course you have the options to buy wallers, right? You can claim your free wallers. None of the prices here. I don't think any of these prices changed. You have the options to buy. By the way, my advice to you guys: if you're a free-to-play player and you're like earning your gold planes for free, never spend your gold planes on wallers. If you pay for your gold planes, then it might make sense to kind of get a head start in a new airport. But for free-to-play players, there's so many other things that you can use your gold planes better on, in my opinion. Silver airplanes, same thing. You can you still get 100 free airplanes every single. Oh man, you still get 100 free airplanes every single day. Can we see San Paulo? Now, we're not going to do GRU today, mainly because I want to save that for the release. You know, this right here is a 3.0 preview. GRU just happens to be coming out with the same, the 3.0 update. You know, so let's go back to LHR real quick. We're going to switch airports shortly, so that way I can show you a few other things, which I think are really, really cool with this new UI. And then, in about, once we're done going over those things, I guess my tower manager's expired. Let's go ahead and activate them for 20 minutes. I don't think I'll be here for 20 minutes, but let's activate it for that long anyways. We're going to activate the departure manager since I showed you guys how to depart the planes. I'm going to activate all the managers. You know what? Yeah, let's just activate them all. And I'm doing it the old school way, one by one, when I could have just gone into the bottom. I could have just gone into the bottom and done it that way. Believe me, I've been using that a whole lot. So here we go. We got all 4 tower managers working, so that way we can handle planes. Where was I before? I forget. Oh yeah, I was in the store. But yeah, that's it. And the gold plane prices are the same too, at least in US dollars. I didn't notice any changes there. And like I said earlier, all of this stuff can change as well. Can I show the packages tab in the store? I was told not to. So sorry. I was told not to. So that is not ready for preview. But thanks for asking. I like how you picked up on that. That's appreciated. I like your attention to detail, man. But is there a takeoff mini game? Now, so the 3 mini games are the same ones that are in the game settings. You got the landing mini game, you got the parking mini game, the de-icing mini game. I think more mini games are going to come in the future, but not right now. They're not in the game right now. All right, this is being handled. But why am I getting an alert? Oh, I don't have a ramp agent on it. Oh, they're not being handled. That's why. All right, we'll put the ramp agent on. So another thing that you could tell here, right? You can look at the side of the plane here, and this green means that it's my own fleet plane. This orange color means that it's an event, a special event plane. And then I'm guessing you're gonna have this bluish color for other player planes. So it's a nice quick way to kind of to find the planes that you need to handle right away. And it differentiates between event planes, between regular airlines, and your own fleet planes and other player planes, which I think is a huge thing, because there could be many points in the game where you're handling, well, I'm handling like 800 planes. Well, I have 800 contracts, but I'm handling like 200 planes at a time. So I would like to make sure that I'm handling the special event planes first, and then doing player planes first, my own planes, special events, kind of prioritizing based on that. Please show the flight number change for your own planes. Oh, let me show you. Yeah, I thought this was pretty interesting, right? So you got the flight number. You can I don't know why, if you could give me some insight, but you can go in here and you can go ahead and edit the number, right? 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4, and you can change it for some silver planes, maybe for some realism, I guess, if you want. I don't know. Maybe there's other features coming that I'm not aware about. But when it comes to your own planes, I don't think they have that. Let's see. Yeah, there's no you can't change your airplane registration, but you can change the flight number for another airline. Does anybody know the update time? There's been no additional information shared about when the update's coming out, so it is still expected right now in Q1, which means you know, by the end of March most likely. I'm sure if something gets delayed, the developers will let us know as soon as possible. But I also know that the developers, I mean, this game, I mean, look at it right now. Everything seems to be working pretty great. I know there are a few small minor issues. There's maybe one major issue, but I reported it already, so I know that it's gonna get addressed and corrected. So, all right, so that is for LHR. Let's see, did I miss anything, guys? We went to the tower, right? So you see all the new tower features. The tower does cost a little bit more, which is a little unfortunate. I was a little sad to see that, but they did add a lot more features to the tower managers. Hopefully, we'll have to see how it is on for like new players, especially. But I think new players really aren't using tower managers as much as like the players with big fleets, anyways. So we'll have to take a look, see how that impacts the other players, everybody who plays World of Airports.
Speedbird
all right.
1525.
So when we got the reward here, right? I got the contract reward and I got an airplane reward. The same thing happens here. You get to pick up the reward in your contract menu. You can hit accept there, and it'll show up as another arrival. And then you can go right here to your fleet menu. And over here, I have not yet unlocked a plane that is I'm 2 levels away. Excuse me, but yeah, I have not unlocked the plane that I could use anywhere. But it tells you right here, availability only in LHR, so you might as well claim it. And then this is really cool, guys, because this is something that didn't exist before, and I'm really happy it exists now. But you can configure the plane right now as you're claiming it. So you can pick your livery, you can pick your colors, and you can also configure it before the airplane goes out. Now I picked a livery that I don't have unlocked already, so it's gonna make me buy that livery. I could always go with Snow White, but look at this, we got unlock and claim. And now when this plane is arriving, look at that, it's right here, already configured, already with my livery. I don't have to go back in here into settings and reconfigure it. Such a small little detail, but very much appreciated, and I wanted to call that out, especially since the opportunity landed there.
Speedbird 82
Mike said that's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, right?
in 6:11 minutes.
Hammy, you asked the question, is there any change with regards to plane storage? Not that I noticed. No, I don't think so. All right, yeah, and I've been trying to like level up and play this game a lot, because I know sometimes when it comes to World of Airports, there's different issues that you have when you're a brand new airport versus like an existing airport. Where is my music?
Speedbird 3229er, handling started TOBT in 6:11 minutes.
Can you show the radar map? So the radar map. Oh, yeah, now you can see the planes going out. So you can see the changes that happen here, right? So you can see that there's of course you got the airplanes and you got the legend down here. So you can see my airplanes are green. Other players are going to be blue. I don't have any other players because we're on the developer server. And then we have regular airlines. So you can see here, you got the favorited planes filter, you have the arrivals filter, and then you have the departures filter. And then you can see just where all the airports that you have current contracts going to, and you can go around the world. So that is the radar feature. One feature I did ask for, let's keep handling planes so you can see what that looks like. But I think we're gonna switch to New Orleans next, because there's something really cool there that I want to show you guys. Something really cool I want to show you guys there. Because yeah, really cool. I'm really excited about a feature to show you guys. Does it give you the map to see economy of plane config when buying by location?
94901.
Give you
Handling
the map
started TOBT in
to
15,
see economy
20
of
minutes.
plane. Okay, so I think what you're asking is, like, if you go to configure and buy and you're buying or you're claiming a plane, whatever it is, you can says unlock and purchase. Oh, I don't have Snow White unlocked. That's why. I'm never gonna unlock Snow White if I don't have to. Sorry, Snow White Alliance. All right, so yeah, what you can do is you can go to seat layout here, and you can go to reference destination, and all you gotta do is click on an airport. So let's say you wanted to, like, go to this red airport. You can click on this right here. You see all the information that you need here. Well, in this case, it's a runway problem, so it's never gonna happen, right? No matter how you configure the plane, you're not gonna solve a runway problem with configuring your plane. So I guess the Concorde might be a bad example. Let's go to A388. Actually, whoops. We can go to any plane. We doesn't be. Let's go to CRJ9. Yeah, look at this updated plane, guys. There we go. Well, CRJ9 doesn't have any configuration, so sorry, we're gonna have to pick a different plane again. We are going to go to this one. What is this one? AN12. Nah, that's a cargo plane. We're just gonna do a 738 classic 738. All right, so we're gonna go to reference destination here, and let's say we wanted to try to send it over here to SJJ or BNX, right? We need the demand is 96.18.4. You click right here to seat layout, and we can see the profit, we can see the demand, and we can see how we can make that plane work. So you don't, it's all on one tab here, not on multiple tabs, which is a whole, it's saving you a lot of clicks. And that's one thing I've noticed a lot while playing this update is there's a lot less clicking, and I'm enjoying it a lot more too. Where is the flight view? Let's see if their flight view is here.
Start up and push back approved.
We're gonna hit I. We got nothing here, right? Nothing there. We got this sensor icon. No, it doesn't look like flight view is in the game at this point in time. So that might come in a future update, or it just might not be in my build, right? It could come with 3.0. It just might not be in my build. It is also something that they did not mention in this original dev blog, right? They only talked about the new UI. They talked about GRU, they talked about aircraft size categorization, they talked about runway lighting, and they talked about CRJ and bug fixes. They didn't talk about that radar flight view. So maybe that'll come in a future update. All right, here we go with another runway view, right? So here you got the runway with the red lights. Oh, it disappeared. Oh, because it's go, and then we can rotate the camera here, and you can see the lights change with the way you rotate the camera. So I think that's pretty awesome. It took me a while to notice, but I eventually noticed. And taken off right there, and then we're gonna rotate the camera, and you can see different lights. So, all right, we are going to change airports now. I'm going to take us to MSY. Because I want to show you guys something really cool there. That a feature that I'm really excited about, because
Speedbird 1.
Yeah, a feature I'm really excited about because there's some things that are just too hard to explain sometimes, and there's a feature in the game now that really makes it makes certain things easy to understand.
Speedbird 1.
All right. Oh, by the way, assigning contract for your own fleet plane. There are some minor changes here too. You can't configure your plane in this menu, which I guess makes sense in some ways. I think it would be pretty cool if we could update the passengers here, but that's not like high on my suggestions list. But if you wanted to send it to a player, a non-player destination, for example, let's say we wanted to send it to Prague, you can hit find connection, and do you know a specific player? You can hit yes, and you can start typing their name. Or you can hit no, and it's going to tell you, hey, you have one LHR contract slot available, and you have one, it's going to take one Prague contract slot. So what that means over here is contract capacity. I have 2 out of 3 already going to Prague. I have 2 passenger planes already going to Prague, and I can only do a maximum of 3. So that is pretty cool. We can do this here too, to Bari, and we're going to send this 752 Sabari. We're not going to GRU. GRU is going to be saved for when it's when it's out for everybody. What we're doing here is really previewing the gameplay of 3.0. That way you all can see what's different, what's the same. Most of it is the same. There's some minor differences.
SDP.
Some of the differences are really positive. You know, some of them you might have some issues with, but for the most part, I think this is a really great update. You know, I think the biggest complaint people might have is the stand prices and the silver planes, but even still, I think we'll adjust. Now, when it comes to claiming currency, you don't have to claim a second time. I'm telling you, this update's all about saving us clicks. There's just so much less clicking needed overall in this game right now. So we're gonna change airports because I want to take us to MSY because there's a feature here I want to show you guys. So here's the map again, right? You can see the airports, all the airports that are in the game. You got the map legend, so it tells you what are locked and unlocked. You know, don't be afraid that I'm not max level on my airport again. This is a developer server, so when we get the full version, the production version of 3.0, everybody's going to keep their stuff. You get to see the premium pass information here. I know one of the things you guys want to see is probably the levels, and like I said before, these things can change, right? It might. I don't think it's likely, right? But it can change. So it's not fact, but I might as well share it, right? We'll see. We'll see. That way you guys can prepare a little bit. So I think the max level, I asked in the VIP chat, in Phat Airlines, we have VIP chat. So if you are a member on YouTube, or if you are a subscriber on Twitch, or a subscriber on Discord, you're going to gain access to a VIP channel. The cheapest way to be a VIP is, well, if you want to pay for it, is through a basic membership on YouTube. But yeah, VIP chat asks what level is max level. It's level 70. So it looks like you get level at level 71, you get the next airport, and then you get 2 more levels after that. So that is pretty exciting. Really nice to see. So get grinding. you got maybe less than a week, or a week, 9 days. I don't know. Who knows how you have till end of quarter 1, whenever it comes out. It's not going to come out today. It's not going to come out tomorrow. I don't know when it's coming out, but get to grinding. All right, I wanted to go to GRU though. Here's the GRU little info card. You can see it established 1946, named after legendary jazz musician Louis Armstrong. So let's go ahead and play MSY. We are not playing GRU today, unfortunately, you guys. I know some of you guys are really excited, but we're going to save that for when it gets released. All right, so of course you got the runway, right? You got the runway lights and all that. We can rotate and look at them. Got the airplane camera, but that's not what I'm here for. I mean, I think some of you guys might want to see it, so that's why I'm showing it. But really, I want to show you something really cool. So we're gonna go ahead and activate all my tower managers. We'll activate it for 30 minutes just so I can handle some planes, show you, show you how I play World Airports right now. Runway lights, that's pretty cool. All right, but here's what I want to show you. You know how at GRU you have like these overlapping stands, right? So like over here you have the L stands, but like you also have a small stand over here. Even over here, right? You have, well, I don't have them all unlocked, but I'll show you in the construction menu, right? We're gonna go to the construction menu. Here we go, right? So you have A6W, which kind of overrides A6 and A5. So here's something that's really cool. You can click on the stand and it'll show you what is blocked by that size. So that is pretty cool. You hit A6 and you can see if we have an A in there, it'll block A6W. Here we go to A4W. There we go. And then over here, I think over here, you can see as well, if I have a seaplane in B5, it's going to block B3 from having a seaplane, and it's going to block A1W from having a D plane. I mean, from having E or F planes. So I think the new UI does a really great job of showing how blocked stands can work. So here's B10, right? If you have a C plane in there, it's going to block C over here and a C over there. Let's see over here. Yep, if you have B14, you have a C plane over there, it's going to get blocked. So all these planes, they'll essentially block the next stand next to it, or all these stands are going to block the next stand next to it with a C plane. Not all of them exactly, but pretty close. So it does a really great job of showing you how you know, how you assign your planes and how that impacts the stands that are right next to it. Here we go with stand SC4. If you have a C size plane in here, then only A planes can be at CS2. If you have a CS2, if you have a B plane at CS2, only B plane can be at CS4. So really cool. It's really nice to see. A really good way to kind of get an understanding of how the stands work at this airport. Even I think in the cargo section over here is the same, very similar. Maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's maybe it's different airports. I know IAD has some blocked stands now because of this update as well. That I noticed. I didn't notice any at LHR, so that's why I didn't show any there. But I think that does a really good job of showing you how stands can be blocked by different size planes. We are not playing GRU today. We are playing 3.0. GRU is just a new airport that happens to be coming with 3.0. We'll play GRU when it gets released in, for everybody. Take a look at Sydney. I don't even have Sydney unlocked. What? Yeah, we could take a look at Sydney, I guess, if you want. But yeah, I think that is it for like me really previewing the UI. So I want to, you know, I may have not touched all the bases that you wanted to see. NXTK. So now I'm going to be paying attention to chat.
in 31 hours
so if you guys had questions about how certain things worked, I know chat might be moving really fast. Please do not spam. We will ban you and time you out for spamming. We have been already. I've seen that happening, and that's just the way it is. Don't spam, bro.
NACN.
But yeah, time to ask questions, and we'll see here. We're not playing GRU today, and any chance can you show what liveries are coming for the CRJ? Sure. I mean, it's the same liveries as all the other planes, right? The CRJ is not any different than any other plane. So we can go to CRJ. We're going to go to CRJ 9. I'll save the CRJ 7 and 2F and 2 for release. But we have the liveries. We can click on this right here, liveries. You got Premium 1, which, you know, you unlock, I think, at IAD with the Premium Pass there. Premium 6, I think I bought. Hold up. Now back to the liveries. You got Basic 1, Basic 2. Let's turn the plane this way. Basic 3, which very, very minor difference, right? Basic 4, Basic 5, Basic 6, Premium 2, Premium 3, Premium 4, Premium 5, Supreme 1, Supreme 2, Supreme 3, Supreme. Are we able to sell a specific size of stand? No, once you have that stand size unlocked, you can only upgrade it. So once you have, like, let's say I unlock the A stand here. The cool thing is I get the handling crew and the contract capacity right away. So with I get that with the A stand, but after this point you can't like undo it. You can't sell it. It's only a purchase option, right? So you can upgrade it so that way you can now handle B, or you can upgrade it again to handle C. You can also just buy it all at once, so that way you don't have to click multiple times. You still pay the same amount whether you buy it all at once or if you pay it for one by one. You show BKK. Yeah, I have BKK unlocked. But let's spend a little bit of time playing some MSY here. That way you guys can see some different planes, see some different views. We'll go to BKK, no problem. I have BKK with a few airplanes there. I don't know about Sydney, man. Sydney is like a brand new. I didn't level up Sydney, so I don't have many planes. Maybe, I mean, if you guys want to see what a brand new airport looks like, maybe that could be helpful. Oh yeah, all right, let's see. What is going to happen if I already have the CRJ unlocked in the game? So if you have the CRJ unlocked, you're gonna, I think you're gonna have to get the CRJ 9, right? Is that right, you guys? I think the CRJ 9 is what's gonna automatically get unlocked for you. That's what's always happened with all these other updates. Is if you had the plane already, you got the plane. It might be the CRJ 9 or CRJ 7. I don't know which one is it. You think, guys? But you will get one of those two planes. You'll get one. It's not going to be the CRJ2. It's not going to be a CRJ-X. Those are two like brand new planes. But you might get. You're going to get one of those two planes automatically unlocked. How can you get gold coins faster without having to buy them? So the number one goal with gold planes is you need to, or with silver planes is you need to get 10,000 silver planes. That's the number one goal that every player needs to accomplish. Once you hit 10,000 silver planes, this is what you need to buy instantly. Everybody. The only time you might want to like hold off a little bit is if you really need to use the tower managers. And tower managers are a little bit more expensive now, so you might have to think about it a little bit more. But I would say always instantly buy the 10 gold planes. So then your question then gets readjusted to how do you get more silver planes, right? So you get more silver planes by handling more contracts. I can't really show you in this version, but when you're doing player-to-player contracts, you start off at the maximum rewards. I can actually show you a little bit though, right? We can go to rewards here. So this is a plane. Actually, do I have any plane going to like a... Here, we have a DH-8D that's going to IAD, right? But it's not going to a specific player, so I have to level it up. I have to go through each of these tiers. So right now, I have to handle this plane 4 times and finish in an overall state of happy face in order for me to get the upgrade, which is this icon right here, contract upgrade, which then upgrades my contract to tier 5, which means at tier 5, I need to handle it 5 times, and then I get to upgrade, and then you just keep going. But when you're doing a player-to-player contract, you're automatically starting off at tier 10. So instead of having to handle the plane 45 times and then another 10 times to get the tier 10 rewards, you only have to handle the plane 10 times. So that is one of the things I like to suggest. I know some people will also do a lot of like close nearby contracts or contracts like map contracts. Let me show you.
In 11:07 minutes.
We got map contracts. So let's say you play once a day, right? You play once a day and you're an international airport. So you might want to look at like some really far airports and look for an airline here. You know, look at what the distance is. Where's the economy? Where is it? Handling limit. I'm missing something. I'm looking for right now is to see what that round trip time is. Handling services, other slight round trip. Okay, well, that's some feedback I'm going to give back. I don't think I see it here. We got size, aircrew, max range, cruise speed, approach speed, takeoff distance, MTOW. We got the load, passenger requested field, seat layout, but no time. And I know that exists in the current game now, so you can take a look and see what that time is between the airports. Wasn't there also something about assigning taxiways? That's in a future update. Right now, that is not with 3.0. One thing you liked about this update is the new ATC call sign. Nice. What are you going to use the new ATC call sign feature for? And I think what you're talking about is this, right? If you go to contract on a non-player plane, on an airline plane, you can actually change the flight number here for 10 silver planes. So what are you going to use that for? That's one thing I was a little confused about. For me though, I know some people like to play with realism. So, but that's not how I play. So maybe that's what it is.
Southwest 90628. Handling started TOBT in 11:07 minutes.
The link to your Discord on YouTube doesn't work, then you might be banned. You might have been banned, or you might want to try again, or you might have been banned. I also had people tell me that it didn't work.
Southwest 2584.
Then
Handling
we
started
gave them a different
TOBT
link,
in
which was the
11:07
same
minutes.
exact link, and it suddenly worked. So try again. I know Flamingo had that problem. I know she texted me. She's like, I'm like, let me check to see if you got banned. And she's like, what? I'm like, well, that's what happens. Discord does a really bad job. If you're banned, it'll just tell you the link is invalid. It doesn't tell you you're banned. It just tells you the link's invalid. How does the Concorde look in every airport? What letter category? So the Concorde is a plane. We have here offers, configure and buy. We're going to unlocked airplanes. So Concorde is Class E, and I mean Class E. There's a lot of Class E stands in all the airports. I'm not sure. I forget about Bari though. I did not play Bari. But I know St. Martin you can still buy a Concorde and handle a Concorde there. Concorde from St. Martin can go to GRU, so that's pretty cool. I haven't tried from let's see if we can go from MSY to GRU. That'd be pretty interesting. Maybe we could do some giveaways. Yep, even without configuration, we can send a Concorde from MSY to GRU. So that's pretty cool. How far? It's a 4,000 distance. So most likely it can't go to IAD or from IAD to GRU, but you can definitely do a Concorde from MSY to GRU. So that's pretty cool. Did they make it so jetways connect to the CRJs? I did not even look at that. I don't really look at that. But let's see if we have any. Let's see if we have any CRJs here. We do not. We do not. Let's see if we can get a CRJ
American
in here.
788.
Here's a CRJ2 landing, and you're going to what stand? A stand that doesn't have a jet bridge. You're going to that stand. I guess we'll wait and see for these CRJs to land and see what happens with those. Yeah, I really do like the slider for handling crew. I do have to get used to hitting that ramp agent button. I have missed it many times, but I'm starting to get used to it. These filter icons on the right take me a little bit of time to get used to, but it's just relearning old habits. You know, we've been playing 2.0 for what, two years, something like that. So you know, some things are moved in different places, but overall, it's very, very similar. Hammy said even if he did, he would not share on stream. What are you talking about? If I knew the release date or what? Can you check the 77LF to see if they re-added the packages livery? Oh, that's a great question, Vamon. Nice to see you, dude. Sure. Did the E170 use the jet bridge? Because this E170 is using the jet bridge. So there's something for you guys. I don't know if that's how it happened before. Alright, you want to see if we got packages back. Cargo locked. What was it? 77. I would expect it to be called special, right? Special something. And it's not there. No. Is there any chance? What's up, Cookie Cooker? Is there any chance you can see if my new job at the airport in Lexington, Kentucky, is a new airport? Yeah. It actually makes it pretty easy now to like see if there's different airports, right? Because we can go to. I wonder if Map Contracts has the filter. Yeah, Map Contracts has the filter, right? So if the code is Lexington, right? Lex. There we go. Nope. I should have known that because Kentucky's like over here. So Lexington, Kentucky, if that's what the airport would be called, it's not there. Kentucky. Cincinnati/Kentucky. No, sir. I don't want to go in the habit of searching for a bunch of different airports. It does make it a whole lot easier to find out if a certain airport's in the game or not, though.
American 72.
Can I show Prague? I don't have Prague unlocked, so there's not going to be a lot of action there. We're going to go to BKK next, though. Can you no longer only buy larger stands? That is correct. You have to buy the smaller ones first, and then progress up through the sizes. Land of Lucas, you live in Bangkok, so when you added it, you bought it instantly. Nice. It's a great reason to buy an airport. You want to see maps in 2D? Yep, here you go, sir. So here we go. We got the stands in 2D. You can still see the same pretty cool options here, right? You can see if you have a C in there, it'll block the B stand. So that's pretty awesome how it'll show you that. Same thing over here with these larger stands. If you have a C plane over here, it blocks A1W. If you have a C over here, it blocks A1W, but it also blocks the C stand from B5. If you have A2, it blocks A1W from E and F planes, and it also blocks A2W. Here we go with A3. So I think that's a really cool quality of life update there. Really makes it easy to understand how certain planes can block your position in different airports. All right, here's a CRJ. Let's get out of the building menu. Oops. Here's a CRJ. Let's see. Cross your fingers, guys. I know like so many people were asking about it, so let's see. Oh, see it? You see it? Do you see it? I think I'm like 10 minutes behind in chat though, so I need to catch up. So please understand that too, guys. I'm like scrolling through chat. I'm at what 21:55, so 9:55, and it's 10:03 now. So I'm like 8 minutes behind. So don't spam. We hate spam. I will personally ban you for spamming. Okay. Colin said, I already assigned real flights, so I will change to the actual call signs. Thank you, Colin, for explaining. That's pretty cool. So you play like almost a simulation type of thing. This makes your sim a little bit more realistic. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hey, Mr. Zin, thank you for being a fan from China. And I'm sorry you can't understand too much English. It's the only language I understand. But hope maybe one day I could get sponsored by like Duolingo or Rosetta Stone or something, right? And we can learn some languages together. It's one of my. That'd be pretty cool, I think.
Air Shuttle 639-2. Handling started TOBT in 8:32 minutes.
What is your first impression after playing the new update, and any new advice for us for new update? So, I mean, most things, my first impression is I do love how many clicks they had removed from, like unnecessary clicks they removed from the game. You know, I love having the sliders for handling crew. The sliders for handling crew are amazing. I love the visual updates too. The visual updates are pretty nice. Really going to be beautiful for like, you know, the runway lights especially, right? I really love the handling crew. The runway changes, the tower changes are pretty nifty. It's pretty nice to be able to choose the arrival sequence based on your airport that you're in. And one thing I've noticed too is that like you could get out of this airport, go to another airport and come back, and your settings for this airport will stay here. So that's pretty cool. You can adjust this on the arrival sequence, which I'm gonna play with a lot more to figure out how it works and what's the best way to really maximize it in each airport. But those settings are cool. I'm really happy to see the approach departure ratio back. For example, an airport like this, MSY, where you have a runway. Let's go to 2D map. You have this runway right here that's used for arrivals and for departures. It's good to be able to switch that arrival to departure ratio. So that way I can have 3 planes. I think I have 3. I said it right now. When 3 planes land, then 1 plane can take off. And then like at an airport like Nagoya or San Diego, some of you guys airports, I've seen your screenshots, some of your airports get backed up all the way like into the runway. And you can fix that by changing the ratio from 1 to 1 to 1 to 5. So that way you have 1 arrival and 5 departures. So that'll be pretty helpful. They still have also this camera view. I don't know if a lot of you guys don't know about this camera view. I never made a video about it. But if you're in 2D map, you can click on the camera for the plane, and you can see like a overhead 3D view of that plane itself. So that's still here. You can see what's happening. You can see the jet bridge connecting on the CRJ2.
United 1166.
That's cool too.
Started TOBT in 5:15
so yeah,
minutes.
I really do like this new update. I think it really makes gameplay a lot more efficient. I'm excited to like have my entire fleet and my entire all your player planes coming in, so that way I can really enjoy it a lot more. But I've been playing this nonstop. This is why also I know a lot of you guys, I've gotten at least 10 emails from you guys, and I appreciate them, by the way. I really appreciate you guys being interested, because I didn't send a Phat Airlines contract. So if you guys don't know, on phatairlines.com you can sign up on phatairlines.com. All you gotta do is submit your email address and your World of Airports username, and then there's an optional field to tell me what your main airports are. But you fill that in, and then once a week we send out an email so that way you can get a contract from us. So I've been playing 3.0 on my iPad, and it's a lot of work to uninstall it and then to reinstall the older version, you know, the current version that you guys have. So I really haven't been handling planes, and I haven't been sending out an email. But I can promise you when GRU and 3.0 come out, that we will have a plane contract email out, so that way we can make sure that people are able to get some contracts again. How many gold planes to buy GRU? I don't think I clicked on that, right? We can click on it. You know, those things can always change.
729 or 1.
Those things can always change. So you know, it's only for reference purposes. I always like to preface it because I don't want people being upset, because you might see it costs, you know, 30 gold planes today, and it could cost 20 tomorrow, because this is still a developer build. Not everything is final, and there's still some new features that I'm not even showing here that might be added into the game for 3.0. So or maybe not, but ultimately we'll have to wait and see. So we're pretty much done here at MSY. All these planes are completed handling, pretty quick to handle, but I did use a lot of silver planes in order to do that, right? So let's we're gonna switch airports, because there's no point for you guys to just watch these planes. I mean, some of you guys like watching the planes taking off and stuff. But let's go to another airport, so that way you can see gameplay in another airport. But here we go. That's Sao Paulo GRU. We are not playing GRU today. We're gonna keep it locked. I'm not gonna click on the XP button. Should I click on the I? No, I'm not going to click on the I either. We'll save that for release date. But since you guys really wanted to know. Oh, GRU's 1 hour ahead of me. Yeah, I need to keep reading chat, because I'm still like, oh, I'm only 3 minutes behind now. Nice. Any new airlines? I would not be the person to ask for that. Sorry, PS Aviation. I am not the person to ask for that. Oh, I'm going to back out of BKK because I want to show you guys the options there, right? And let's see, what other airports? Oh, St. Martin has an arrival. Leipzig has an arrival. Let's go to Leipzig. Well, we'll go to BKK, then we'll go to Leipzig. And then we'll go to St. Martin to finish off. Prague has an arrival too, but I don't have Prague unlocked. Maybe I'll just unlock it so I can get the arrival. But who cares? This is the developer server. We'll go to BKK. Here's BKK. You can see the reward pass. I gotta say, this scroll bar is a lot easier to tap now. But let's start from the beginning. This is one thing, whether the airport is locked or unlocked, you can see the rewards. So that might help you determine if you want to unlock an airport or not. And also, it might help you understand, oh, I can get basic 2 for the A318 for free? Like, all I got to do is get to level 18 at BKK. Then you're not going to, well, then you probably shouldn't unlock the A318 basic 2 livery, right? I know some people might do it anyways, because, you know, some people can be impatient. But for me, if you can get something for free, get it for free. Here you got A321 livery, right? So here we go. We'll just keep going through BKK. I think we just passed international, and then we got contracts, airplanes. You got the A124 contract, and you do get an A124 in your fleet at this airport too. This is BKK, by the way. It doesn't say it here, does it? Oh, it says only in BKK. Okay, so I think these are new levels, right? Or no? Maybe not. Maybe not. Where's the A124? Oh, here. Here's the A124. New Orleans, and yep, some new levels. Very generous with 10,000 silver planes for level 83. I just wonder if those new levels are going to be like the new levels they added at Washington. There's no way I'm going to be able to find out in this developer build. But I wonder if those new levels are going to be like the new levels added at Washington. The new levels added at Washington, they have a lot of XP in order to get to. They have a lot of XP requirement in order to get to the next level. We'll do 20 minutes here. Very foggy here today. Very foggy. We're gonna have to go into like plane views. Here we go. The new update is not out. That's why this is called a preview. It is not released. All right, cool. I'm actually at the bottom of chat. So if you guys have any questions, or if I missed any of your questions, please feel free to re-ask them. Thank you, Sloppy and Mike and Hammy, for all your help with moderating. Really appreciate that. Especially like it's late at night. You know, it's 10 o'clock at night for me. Hammy, I think it's like 2 a.m. for you. So I'm amazed that you're here. Thank you very much. Mike, I think it's a late for you too. I know it's a Saturday evening for us, but even still. Thank you mods for helping me out. So much going on here today that I really appreciate. And shout out to the mods. Pollution is back. Did you get any information about GAs and BJs? Nah, nothing. Nothing. I knew it wasn't going to be out with 3.0, but no, we don't have any. I don't have any inside information. I didn't even ask about it, to be fair. So I have nothing to give you there. Not even a hypothesis. Were there any gate changes at IAD? I'm not sure what you mean by gate changes, but with the stands. So this is such a bad airport right now. But with the stands at IAD, you do have some stands that can block other stands. I didn't see anything here at BKK where a stand will block another stand. Yeah, these are size F. F doesn't block anything. Yeah, so we're good here. But at IAD, I did notice, especially in that section that's currently the L and X sections, in that section over there, there are some stands that can get blocked by having a larger plane parked next to it. So we can go. We're going to go to IAD too. I want to go to all the airports I have unlocked. Because in my opinion, well, those are the airports that I have the most fun at, and I'm pretty familiar with it from playing it for the last, I think, 2 days. I've been playing it 3 days. I don't know. I forget how many days. Is that important? Probably not. Should I buy stands in a new airport differently with this update? Oh, you know, that's a great question. It reminded me of another recommendation. You know how I recommend that if you're interested in buying like the CRJ, you should probably buy it now while it's cheaper, because it's going to get a price increase. And maybe you want to do the same thing with the stands in your airport, right? So right now, a small stand costs $5,000, and small planes right now are A and B, right? So a small stand costs $5,000, and right now it's going to cost, after the update, it's going to cost $6,000. So you might want to buy all the stands now, right? Now a B stand, right? A M stand, a medium stand, costs $10,000, right? So if you were to buy a medium stand, you know, which is, I think, actually mediums are only size C. right now. There are no D planes that are medium, so maybe a medium stand might not make sense to buy, but for a total of 15,000 versus 12, okay, maybe not. Maybe you can hold off. You buy a D stand. Well, actually, let's buy the C stand so we can get the regular price. You know, an L stand, right? An L stand costs $15,000. So an L now will cost $18,000. So you might want to unlock it, right? I don't know how it's gonna work when you convert from L, like an L only stand, to this game, especially when or to this version, I should say, especially since you have to have all the previous versions. So maybe you just buy an X stand, and now instead of having to pay, you know, $42,000, you only pay $20,000. Just something to think about. It's about something that you're here in the preview and you want to, you know, make sure you're prepared. That might be something you can do to keep yourself prepared. Is it like a must do? Nah. Wallers are so abundant if you play the game. And if you're a newer player, you might not even have enough wallers for it. But like if you're an existing player and you don't have multi-gates, maybe start thinking about unlocking X stands wherever you can, or the largest size wherever you can. That way you can make sure that you have these stands unlocked. Now, if you do an X stand by itself, the F, it's 12,000 versus 20. So I think overall, I mean, the pricing seems pretty like very like small stands are more expensive now. Large stands are more expensive, but medium stands are cheaper and X stands are cheaper, which makes a lot of sense to me. But hey, we'll have to see what actually happens with the conversion, right? Did they add Aruba Airlines?
When
we go to St. Martin, you can probably ask me when I'm there. We're definitely not going to find it here at BKK, right? Oh, jeez. Yeah, we don't have the date for the update. We still have all the same information that you guys have, which is World of Airports. Actually, right here. When will 3.0 be released? They're not giving the exact release date. Based on the previous commitments, you can expect version 3.0 to arrive within Q1, which is March, right? March is the end of Q1. So right now, as far as I know, that's where they're on track to do. And you see here, we got a working version, right? This is working. It's 100% working. We can play it. There are some bugs, you know, some visual bugs. Some other bugs that I found that I'm not showcasing here.
Smile 5562.
You know, I know how to force some bugs to happen too. Nothing that's like super game breaking, but things that, you know, things that they want to fix. And then of course they have, I gave them some suggestions. They have some things that are going to be added. I'm going to turn off the radio now. I don't like the radio.
Handling started TOBT.
Oh man. My nose is stuffy now. Mike said, I wonder how stands where we unlocked only X will be managed with the update. Will that just give us A to F? That's my assumption, because like there's no way like to just unlock F in this game. So I hope that's how it works, and that would make the most sense. I don't know how. The only thing that might make sense is if they gave us the Waller equivalent, right, for the stand that we purchased. So let's say you bought a small and a medium, right, for 5 and 10. So that's 15,000. You know, maybe they gave you, you know, a C up to the C, which is small and medium, right, 15,000. If you bought just the medium, which is 10,000, maybe they'll give you just the B up to B, which would suck, right? I mean, it would be really bad, because then you wouldn't be able to park your M planes there anymore, which you were able to do before the update. So I don't think that makes sense to me, logically. But sometimes, you know, sometimes they have other plans. World of Airports developers. Max said, my guess is they'll look for the larger stand we bought and give everything below it. That's my guess too, bro. Jacob said, I think it's unfortunate that all gates are now forced to be multi-gates. You can't have individual larger gates. It's a little unfortunate. I think it's going to really help new players, though, new airports. For example, when I'm at GRU, I think what I'm going to be doing a lot of is buying a lot of A stands. Because you're going to be forced to upgrade them all anyways in the future. If you need extra contract capacity, just buy the A stand. If you need extra handling crew, buy the A stand, right? It's $2,000 for extra contract capacity and extra crew, which is really, really cheap. Before, you had to pay $5,000 and you would have to buy a small stand, but you didn't even need to buy a small stand, right? Whereas now, if you want to buy a stand, you have to buy all the ones before it anyways. So, you know, if you just want a handling crew, just buy the 2,000 here, you know, just here we go. We got some more handling crew, just keep buying. And all of a sudden, you know, I don't know how, I forget how many stands BKK has, but you can have, you know, 100 contract capacity pretty quickly with $200,000, you know. But even still, it's a lot cheaper than doing small stands only in the current game. And yeah, I think my point has been kind of proven here. But I think that's where it's going to be really helpful. I think in the long term, it's going to be a nuisance to have, you know, have like medium planes landing where large planes are. I do think that I think in Ask the Developers in the past, they've mentioned about like disabling stands. So maybe that'll be a feature we see later on where we can disable, you know, A, B, and C on this stand or something like that. I think that would solve our criticism with this system, right? But I don't see it here now. I think it's something that they could definitely work on in the future. But thank you for that feedback. Yeah. Yeah. For size separation or delivery anymore? Well, you do have these options here for stand preference for delivery. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. I hit the HDMI cable. Yeah, so you do have the stand preference here for the delivery manager. So you can have the delivery manager prioritize F, G, E. You could have it prioritize A if you want first. I really haven't like tested it to see like how it actually works. I just don't have that many F, G, E, D planes in my airport to really see a difference. I have a lot of CBs in my airport and like one F plane. So really hard for me to tell the difference right now. Once the game comes out and I'm back in my main game, you know, with my entire fleet, with all my player contracts, then I'll be able to really test this out to see how it works. But I think that'll help with prioritizing the stands, right? And then of course you got the arrivals, which is different, but you can prioritize the which planes land first. So I think like if you want to make sure your G stands are always assigned to G planes, which will make the most sense, right? Because there's not a lot of G stands. If we look here at BKK, you know, G is cargo. G is only for cargo. So you look over here, you don't have a F E F E F E F E F E G. Oh, there you go. G, 56,000. So you go from 42 to 56. So let's not do math. Let's let the game do it for us. It's 14,000 for that G stand. Kind of a lot for like an event plane, you know? Or once you reach some of the later levels, you might get like a contract for the A225 in some airports. Here, A124. What size is that plane? What size is the A124? How can I find that out? You can't buy it in your fleet. You can only get it in your fleet. Oh, maybe it's in the map. Is it a map? A124 is an F? This doesn't, oh, G. Okay. Yeah, there's no map contracts for G. So F, which would probably be Airbus. Oh, F, let's go cargo. Yeah, A124, there we go. I remember seeing it here at Tel Aviv. Okay. Okay. All right. So, how much time do we have on our time managers? We got 6 minutes. So we'll do another 6 minutes here. Then we'll switch over to Leipzig, so we can handle that event plane, the A225 that we have today. I think you guys have the same event planes, right, in your game? So you can all handle that, and we'll take a look. I'm going to keep reading chat. Dude, find out when the game will be released. Leave these silly details alone. Bro, be patient, man. They already told us it's going to happen in Q1. We only have 9 more days until Q1. So there's no reason for me to bother the developers with something they already said, that as always, we're not giving out an exact release date. So why would I bother them to give me a release date when they never give a release date? As always, that's just not how you build a good relationship with a developer, or anybody. If they told you they're not going to give a release date, don't bother them to give you a release date. That's not what I'm going to do, you know. So if you don't like it, sorry, but that's not who I am. Go. When does this drop? Q1, bro. Q1. Pretty quiet stream. We have the set music turned off, and I think I don't know why the volume is kind of low, but music's on. I can barely hear it too myself, but the music's on. The radio was just so loud though. The radio was just so loud. I'll turn on my music again, because we can't even hear the game music. So is the airplane orbit camera 360 now, or how is it current? It's always been 360, hasn't it? I'm not sure what you mean by now. You're talking about this camera right here, right? So this camera right here is 360. Always been 360. I'm not sure why you mean what you mean by it not being 360, but it's been that way. It was that way in 2.6 as well. So fan purchase is cumulative, but with 42k wallets we cannot get even one additional crew. Whoa, what happened to the fog? Just poof, gone. It's crazy. Oh, it must be Mitar's update time, right? Must be update time for the weather. Yo, what's up, Special Dancer? Nice to see you, bro. We are live on Twitch and on YouTube, so if you guys prefer one platform over the other, feel free to join wherever you want. Any new airlines in this update? Yo, South Jersey, nice to see you, bro. But I am not the person who looks at that. They add new airlines especially when you have a new airport. I would 100% expect new airlines, a new airport in a new part of the world. Yeah, there's going to be new airlines. I mean, but I think what you want to know is, what are the new airlines? You probably look at the World of Airports forum. Either when the update comes out, or maybe even before. Sometimes they post it before the update comes out, which hypes up a lot of people too. And they'll show you all the new airlines and liveries. Can we change our plane registration? No. And I don't think they have any. I'm pretty sure the World of Airports developers have zero intention in letting us manually change our call signs on our own fleet planes. Which is cool, because I host call sign competitions. By the way, on Phat Airlines Discord, ! Discord if you're not part of it, or look at the description on YouTube if you're watching the replay. But on the Phat Airlines Discord, I'm going to be hosting a call sign competition for the GRU airport. So we're going to try to look for the best call signs from GRU, and whoever has the best call signs, I don't know how we're going to pick the winner. I know for our first call sign competition, we picked the winners based on, I picked the top 10, and then I had the volunteers vote on their favorites anonymously. For the second call sign competition, we had people vote live on stream. We had like a bracket, a tournament, so people voted live on stream. I don't know what this one's, how we're going to pick the winner for this one, but we're going to involve the community either way to select the best call signs. There's going to be like a prize. I'm going to give away some Phat Airlines membership. I'm going to give away some VIP. And if I'm going to talk to the developers, every single competition I talk to the developers to see if I can give away gold planes. But so far it hasn't been possible. But if it's possible, then we'll give away gold planes too. But I know right now they're so focused on releasing 3.0 that it's not. I'm only giving them bug reports, feedback, and suggestions. None of this other extra stuff that they have a deadline to meet. They told us Q1. Half of the world is sleeping. I mean, isn't that like always? But yeah, most of the times the Europeans are the ones that are here, because I usually stream at like the opposite time. Usually I stream at 11 a.m. Eastern on Saturday, and today I'm here at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. I actually had a very early morning today. I woke up at 4:30 a.m. Pacific time. Flew from Vegas to home to New Jersey. Got back home at 4:30 Eastern time. I took an accidental nap at 7 p.m. I woke up at 7:30, so that nap was super helpful. Thank you to my wife. Thank you, Sloppy, for letting me. Because, man, I was so tired. At 7, I was like, man, oh my gosh. I'm tired right now, too. But I didn't have coffee today and nothing. And you guys know how you guys who are here every stream know that I have my coffee. Katana, it looks like your message got cut off, man. Boeing fans here, nice. Jason said, Fat, when will we be able to tow move planes to a maintenance stand? That there's no date on that. I know what like the developers have told me. A part of like what they're really focused on, like getting the core functions of this UI update in place, and then they're going to start again focusing on doing improvements. I think this update is more like it's a major update because of the UI, but there's also I would think of it more of a quality of life. You're seeing a lot of like minor changes that really make it a lot easier for people who play the game. We're seeing the handling crew slider. We're seeing over here when you're buying equipment, you can, instead of having to purchase confirm every single time, you can select that I want to buy 20 of them, and then you can hit purchase and then confirm. So you have a lot less clicks. I mean, this might be cool if you had a slider too, but you're still cutting your clicks in half even with this, right? Even though you have to hit the plus button 20 times to get to 20, you still don't have to hit purchase and confirm, so you're actually cutting your clicks down by 66%. So a lot less clicking. There's some new tower options, which I my favorite tower function is the activate all. I was a little sad to see that the airport the silver plane price changed. I did ask the developers. I asked Kubasan if that was like what the price is going to be, and he said yes. So that made me a little sad, but we'll have to see what those actual, like, what these features, we have the the delivery, where you can change the stand preference of how it's going to assign the stands. You have the approach manager, same thing, because it chooses how that's going to land. So now we went to Leipzig, but before actually we go to Leipzig, let me show you the Leipzig card, right? So you have, of course, the XP. We'll start at level 1. Same thing all the way up to the current level. I forget what the current level is, but nothing's changed with the premium pass. But like now you can access it from the home screen, from the airport selection screen. You no longer have to like own the airport to see the progress rewards. Anybody can see it. So whether it's a locked airport or an unlocked airport, you can take a look. You can see here. You get St. Martin at level 55. I think level 60 or something, right? Is or 62. I don't know. I don't know what the max level is right now at Leipzig. I'm sure somebody can let me know. But even still, yeah, I definitely have at least one new level here, maybe 3. So pretty cool. You got the info button. Established 1927. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. And oh yeah, I already opened that earlier. And then we have today. We have a special arrival. So we have an A225, which is a G cargo plane. So I'm gonna see what it looks like to handle a G cargo plane in World of Airports 3. You're watching from Australia? Nice. Dude, Australia, I'm always streaming at like 3 a.m. So it's like 3 p.m. for you, right? Or something like that. Miguel says, test the GRU airport. Nah, man, I was not asked to test the GRU airport. So I'm not really interested in going in there unless they ask me to test it out. You know, before LHR was released, the developers asked me to test it out, LHR. So I went in LHR, tested it out, you know, as a brand new account, and you know, made some progress. But not with this one. They wanted me to test out the UI, so that's what I did. All right, so we're at Leipzig airport, and you'll see here at Leipzig, right, you got cargo stands, you got terminals. So we're gonna filter for cargo stands. So you have a G stand over here, 102, which is gonna be nice for photos, right? Because the G stand over here is how you get planes to cross over the highway and or the train station. I forget what, I think it's the highway that the photo happens, the photo spot. So you have that, which is pretty cool. Over here, I think you have another G stand. I might be wrong. Yeah, you have an F stand and a G stand over here. So you have one G stand at 217. I don't remember if there was a G stand over here, but we'll have to we're taking a look right now. No G stands over here. So only 2 G stands here at Leipzig. More than enough. Might be maybe not enough. I don't know. But we'll go ahead and select this stand right here, and we'll confirm. And let's watch it, clear it to land, and let's watch it land. I'm gonna read your chats. Sports Rule, you just maxed out the X and L stands at IAD. Nice. Taiwan is 12 ahead of me. Nice, good to know. I'm gonna try to remember that. Please look what exit the 77LF uses and the AN225. Okay, I'll try to remember that. On the south side. Oh, I landed this on the north side. Sorry, bro. How does the new airline filter work? Airline filter. Oh, airline filter. I don't think I saw an airline filter. I saw an airport filter. Airline filter. Can't say I saw an airline filter. Yeah, I can't say I saw an airline filter, but you know, almost not something I usually pay attention to. Is AN225 the only plane that requires G? Yeah, because an A124 requires F. And A225 requires G. You see right here? G. Oh, you want to see? Oh, I didn't even go through that. The landing and parking mini games. Yeah. So we can turn on the parking and we'll turn on de-icing even though it is 6 degrees. So there's no way it's going to happen. And then here you have landing. You can only land your own airplanes. So let's find my own airplane. Really easy to find because you look for the green here. And you can see the green ones are my airplanes. We're going to land a B. What is that? A B463. We're going to land it on the south side here. I want to put it over there, I think. Or no. Or why not? We could put it anywhere, really. And we're going to confirm. I think I toggled the switch on. Yep. So now it's going to tell me to play the landing minigame, and we can play. The same as before. You got the wind, right? That's there. You got the icons here. I'm a little low, so I'm going to raise up a little bit.
30. 20. 10.
Oh, I'm a little to the left. But it's all good. It's still kind of close. One thing I noticed that doesn't happen though is there's no like pop-up with that maintenance icon. Like you get the pop-up for XP. So that'd be I think that would be pretty cool to see. Let's go back to the A225. Oh, we missed the photo moment. Oh well. What's up, Brian? Hello from Hong Kong. Awesome. I need to do more. Maybe I do 2 streams on Saturday. One at 11 and one at 11. One at 11 and one at 11. Then we get the, because I feel bad for you guys who are in Asia, Australia, and the east part of the world. You guys don't get the opportunity to really watch streams. I know some of you guys are here like Duck and Twill, but like for the most part, it's late for you guys. My first time ever parking the A225, I think. Yes! Yes! Too nice, man. I'm too nice. Will we finally have F cargo stands and multi-gate stands at St. Martin? F cargo. No cargo. No. Well, why would you have F cargo at St. Martin? The cargo stands are only up to M right now, medium planes. If you ask D cargo or something like that, then that would make me think. But F, that's too much, man. Too much. All right, so how's that for the mini games, guys? We're gonna do more mini games. This is a bug I reported already to the developers. How if you do the landing mini game, it pops up. I forgot about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it again. Oops. But I already reported it, so no need to worry.
40. 30.
Makes it hard because you can't really see if you're censored with the dot. Oh, that was a really bad landing. That was like my landing on my flight this this afternoon. He's just as bad in this version as his previous versions. Yeah, that might be true. I got better, man, but I guess not by much. Why can't I play the landing minigame? Oh, there must be a plane on the runway. By the way, guys, I know I'm gonna ask later on, especially later today, or maybe tomorrow. Because,
10.
but I'm gonna ask. Oh shoot, that's not bad. 92, 94, but still no maintenance points. Anyways, I'm gonna ask for help to like review this stream and look for timestamps. You know, I go through like little features, like when I go through like the fleet options and stuff like that. I would love to help. I know like Hammy, Voitando, and I think Noodle did a couple of that last time, so SF Striker said you can go to WoA Discord in the research servers to table all the categorization of planes. Yeah, hopefully they can double check based on what I showed here on stream. But yeah, I'm done with mini games. I'm done failing them. We are just going to activate all for 20 minutes here. We'll spend 20 minutes here at Leipzig, handle the planes. There's no blocked stands here, nothing like that. So for the gameplay is ultimately very, very, very similar, but you're spending a lot less time clicking. One thing you want to, like, I might want to do, I'm going to do, is unlock more stands, right? Especially here at Leipzig. Like, you don't really run into issues where you don't have enough stands. You run into issues where you have not enough handling crew. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, buy the A stand on the stands that I don't have unlocked, so I get that handling crew, so that way I can handle more of these cargo planes at once. And that's what I think I'm going to do at GRU as well. Just really utilize the A stand, which is only 2,000 wallers, so that way I can increase my capacity, increase my my handling crew, which then, you know, lets me play that airport longer. I have more planes to handle, and I can handle them faster. Maybe not longer. Do you know if they will add emergency events to the game? That's gonna come in the future, but they're not. I haven't seen any emergencies here. I don't think it was coming in this update. How can you have lots of money? You can buy it, right? That's what I did on this account. I bought them with gold planes, but you can also you can handle larger planes. So like, right, the E, F, and G size planes, which are L and X planes. Those planes you can handle, and they give you some good money. Like, look at this one, right? 2,248. You can have planes in your own fleet. That'll give you some money as well. Planes in your own fleet will always, they'll always give you more money than a plane that's coming from that destination from a regular airline. So fleet planes will make you a lot more money in your airport now too. You're a little gray on the new sizes. Will World of Airports ever remodel the 747Fs? Yes. All planes are going to get a remodel. It is a process for the developers to remodel, because with the remodel, they have to also redo all the liveries for that plane. So it's like they have to make a brand new plane. Even though for us, all we're seeing is a remodel, to them, the effort that's required is a whole new plane. So we're seeing the CRJ get updated in this in 3.0. I don't know what the next plane is going to be. Maybe the 757. Who knows? I don't think they've really promised anything yet. They've hinted at some things, but they haven't promised anything. But yeah, all the planes are going to get a remodel for sure. What airport is this? Oh, you can see it on the top left of your screen. That's where the airport is now. I know it used to be on the bottom left here. Can't even see anyways, but it's up here on the top left. What's up, TK? Are there any A-size planes? The DH6C, yes. Yeah, here, even on the 2D map, I guess another criticism I have is how close this, like, red for an event plane, you know, the red right here for event, and how yellow for a plane that needs attention. But I think I'll get used to it, you know. I think that's something I could get used to. But I always click on this. I do it a lot with the event planes. I click on it again. Green are my own planes, and then blue are going to be for other player airplanes. Is this in game right now? No, this is a preview. So I'm using the developer version on the developer servers. So it's just a preview. This 3.0 update is not out yet. I'm very excited for when it does come out, though. We will be playing we will be playing the update when it comes out, along with the new airport GRU. We're not playing GRU today because I really want to just focus on, and I would really want to focus on the gameplay. You know, see what you guys think. See if there's any complaints, concerns, anything like that. I know a lot of those messages for complaints and concerns might have came up in the beginning of the stream, so I'm going to have to read back. But if you guys have any complaints, concerns, or anything like that, let me know, because I can take it back to the devs. Tower manager is so expensive. Yeah, that's my complaint, concern as well. But it might be worth it. We'll have to see how those extra features pan out, you know, because we get extra features now with it. Like, we get to choose the order of planes, so we'll see if that makes it worth it. Can you buy the CRJ-X? Yeah, that is a plane that's unlockable. I am not going to buy it here. No. When we'll be able to choose which side of the runway we have planes to land and take off from? There's no date for that, man. All new animations on the planes, nice. Can't say I've noticed. I feel like I've noticed a few of them, but like at the same time, it's not something I'm paying attention to on a daily basis or like, you know, regularly. So it's like I don't want to get hyped over a feature that's been in the game for like months, you know. So I'm just like showing you guys. I know some of you guys are excited about things, so when you say, I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't know that either. So it's nice to hear. Yo, Hidden is here. Nice. What's up, Hidden? Well, the airports is not in Brazil, even though it has gained a Brazilian airport. Well, the Brazilian airport's not out yet, right? A310 will probably be the worst L plane, but good for fleet diversity. Nice. For levels added to all airports, I believe so. The airports that I checked out seem to have new levels, and it's multiple. Like I saw LHR had new levels, Leipzig has new levels, MSY, of course. I mean, we knew MSY was gonna have new level, but it has one level. Well, as of right now, you know, this can all change, but as of right now, when we looked, MSY has one more level added for the next airport for GRU, and then you have I think 2 more levels after that. LHR has new levels. I'm pretty sure BKK has new levels. Like they give you like the CRJ in like those new levels, which is kind of like silly when you look at it. Like as a new player coming in, it's like, wow, I'm going through all these levels, right? You're going through all these levels. You get an A225 at like here at Leipzig, right? You get an A3ST, you get an A124, you get an A225, and then you get a CRJ7. Right? That's kind of funny if you're a new player and you don't understand that they've added more levels. But it's like, man, all this hype and like I got an A225 and now I'm getting a CRJ2F. It's kind of strange, but like no, it's based on, you know, for those of us who are here live, we understand. I think that's funny every time I see that, because the same thing happened with the A321, the B463, all those planes. When they get updated, they added it to like the premium pass and to the level airport rewards, and it's like, as a new player, if you're looking at it, it's like, wow, like I get a Concorde and then I get a CRJ, right? Yo, what's up, K? Long time no see. Hope you're doing good. What's up, NS 0427? Yes, TJ said, just saying, when they remodel a plane, they probably have to redo the animations. People going in, out. Yeah, they have to remake the entire plane. Hey, Educate Learn. What's up, man? Kind of early for you, right? What's up, Mark? Is there a slider zoom at the camera spot? Let's take a look. I don't really use the camera zoom too much. The camera... okay, this is for the... this is for airplane settings, but you can pinch the zoom, so... I think pinch to zoom has always been there. You can pinch, you can or pinch or expand to do the zoom, and then you have the camera settings, so you can like change how the focus works. Really get some cinematic photos. I don't really use that camera view too often though, because you can't play the game while in those camera views. And like most of my airports, I have like hundreds of planes to handle. I can't wait till I have 1,000 planes to handle. That's going to be probably in the next like 6 months. I'll get to 1,000 planes to handle. I know some people have 1,000 in the contracts in like the LHR IAD. Pretty amazing. Do you know if there's a way to see the old model side by side with the new remodel, see the actual differences? I haven't seen anything like that created yet. I mean, but literally... this is the first preview of it. So I'm sure somebody will be creating it tomorrow. I know typically like that happens when I usually do my streams. It's usually like during my day, not my night. So I know usually like a lot of the Europeans are here and they jump on and do that right away. So maybe take a look out for tomorrow. When is the update out for everybody? Q1. Nice, K. You just maxed out your IAD levels this morning. IAD has some hard levels, and that's what I'm wondering too about these extra levels they added at like Leipzig, LHR, MSY even, right? I mean, it's only one level, but is it like one IAD level? And for those of you who don't know, like the levels like from 83 to 86 at Washington IAD, they require like, I think... it's like 3,000 XP. It's a lot. and it's not bad. I like it a lot when it's not required. You know, it's not a requirement to unlock the next airport. So I hope MSY, I hope that unlock for GRU is like a normal level, but I would not be upset if additional levels after unlocking the airport are at a much harder level. The CRJ model looks a bit off. What looks off about it? Mike, you have planes banked at most of your main airports. Nice. No, even the other airports. That's interesting. I used to do that on updates, but like they also stopped giving us new levels in all airports recently, so I kind of stopped doing that. Plus, there's no like super big benefit to banking airplanes to get max level. The only time there's like a benefit to doing that is in the latest airport, right? So you can get that next airport. But other than that, like I stopped doing it at all the other airports. Max doesn't even bother with the extra levels. Yeah, it just kind of happens organically for me, right? And yeah, those last levels are definitely rough. But yeah, I just let it happen organically. It's the level where you can unlock the next airport. Those are the ones where I want to rush to get. The other ones afterwards, those are cool. You know, those are nice. It keeps me playing the airport. You know, it gets me back in Innsbruck or back at Bari, trying to get to max level, or you know, gives me a reason because, you know, sometimes the rewards, like in some of these airports, even in after you unlock the next airport, some of these rewards, if you have a premium pass, you can get 10,000 total silver planes from getting a level, which is pretty amazing. Oh, the engines look a little small. Oh, this is a CRJ9. I'm not sure what they're supposed to look like though, so. When will the update be? In Q1. What is banking planes? So that is when you go, essentially you have an airplane. Let's say, so you, how do I word it? I don't have any example. Okay, here we go. Right? So you would want to have an airplane that has a bigger contract than this, than 1 out of 1. But essentially, this airplane, you would not want to land this airplane in your game, and it would be in the sky. Then when the game update comes out or the new levels come out, then you start landing these planes that have completed contracts. That way, when they land, all you have to do is claim the rewards, and then you're getting multiple XPs, which will give you some of those levels immediately. You can do that with other player planes. You can do that. I want to be very careful with doing that with other player planes because people might get annoyed with you. You have to be like clearly communicated with them that that's what you're doing. I know that's what I'm doing at MSI right now, but yeah, be careful with other player planes. But it's a good idea to do that with other airlines, right? You can do that with other airlines, even if it's your own plane, right? You're in charge of your own plane's contract, so who cares if the other guy has to wait for a renewal? You know, if your plane came back to you already, that means the other guy got their rewards already. So there's no rush to like sending them back the contract renewal. And then other airlines, the other airlines is probably the best bet where you're not going to make anybody upset, and you can get like some of these contract rewards. Look at this, like 77 LF, right? So we look. I don't know if the rewards are different now. They probably aren't. They shouldn't be, because they said there's no like major gameplay changes, right? So like, for example, if I have this 77 LF here at Leipzig and I needed to bank planes, I would get this all the way up to like tier 5, tier 6. Wait for the update, and then when the update comes out, I would get it to 4 out of 4 progress. This one, I would keep it in the sky, And then when the update comes out, I would have it land. I would get 153 silver and 27 XP. Super helpful to kind of get those rewards immediately, especially with a new airport. That's like the biggest thing I like to do it for. When you're going to play St. Martin, I don't know what the next airport is going to be. Oh, St. Martin has an event plane, so I might want to go there. Get the 5 XP, you know? Duck put it nice and simple. Planes that have rewards ready to claim, but you don't claim them until the update is out. What's up, DJ? Favorite airport? I mean, I play 3 airports mainly in world airports. They are Washington IAD, they are LHR London Heathrow, and BKK Bangkok. So those are the 3 airports. Like I kind of bounce between them as my favorite. They all have like their positives and negatives. Mike said, yeah, try not to hold other player planes, but I'll hold mine out that I was playing contracts with other players. Nice. Yeah, I hold other players' planes too. But that's because, well, my excuse is that I really want to make sure I can unlock it day one. I really want to make sure I can unlock it day one. That's my excuse. Because I'm a streamer, you know, I stream it. Here's another area, right? I hit the claim button and I don't have to hit claim again. You know, there's just so many small things where you just have like fewer clicks. You know, here's another cool update, a cool quality of life change that's included in this update, and that's when you're claiming a plane that can be redeemed at that airport. You can claim the plane and you have all the same options for configuring it. So you can buy a livery, you can assign a livery, for your plane. That way you don't have to claim it and then go back into another menu. That was like a complaint. You still can't configure the cargo, which I'm a little sad about. Maybe that'll come with the like cargo update whenever that comes. But ultimately, you don't have to come back in here to get that plane customized. Here we go. And you check IAD. Yeah, IADs make sense for another airport, the next airport. Can you park the 762F at St. Martin? I think the 762F is a D-size plane, right? Yeah, it's size D, so most likely not, because I think it's only C-size planes that are able to be landed at cargo planes at St. Martin. No spamming, man. No spamming. 77 LF is probably the best cargo plane. Yeah, I kind of agree. Can you handle my planes at LHR after streaming has been there for a while now? So I was saying this earlier, and I know you kind of joined like a few minutes ago, but it probably won't happen. I gotta be fair with you. I've been really like playing 3.0 a lot, so I can find bugs and also, you know, understand the game, I guess, in a way. But mainly, I'm finding bugs and I'm reporting it to the devs, so that way, because like, you know, when it comes time to be playing the game, like when it's live, I'm still finding I'm finding those bugs. You know, whether I'm beta testing it or it's live, I'm finding those bugs. So we want to make sure, I want to make sure at least that I'm doing the best that I can especially since they're trusting me with this developer version, that I can, give them a little bit of something back too, right? I mean, they're getting the feedback from you guys too, so they're getting a lot out of that. But if I can test it, find some bugs, which I've found a few already. Some of them already fixed, some of them not fixed yet. But yeah, if I can do that, then I'm gonna do that. And that's one thing. So it might take a while. You probably have to wait till 3.0. I might see if I can put if I could put an old version, take an old iPhone and start it up and put the live version of World of Airports on there. We'll have to see. I might think about it. I might do it tomorrow. But if anything, I know it's definitely going to resume once 3.0 comes out. This update is going to be so good in so many ways. I agree, Ray. I'm really excited for it. I've been really enjoying it the last few days. I can't wait for all you guys to play it too. I know the developers are really working hard as well to make sure that it's a great update. So I'm excited to see it. See everybody. When is this 1Q update you're saying will be released? In 1Q. So 1Q, it sounds like you don't know what 1Q means. 1Q means the first quarter of the year. So if you split up the year into 4 quarters, because this a quarter is 1/4, right? So if you split up the year into 4 quarters, you get January, February, and March is the first quarter, which is when we're expecting the update. You also have second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter, which are 3 months each. I think your teachers should be teaching you this in school, though, not me. Not me. Besides GRU, what new airport you think is going to release this year? I don't think they've really... I mean, the only other airport I think they've maybe accidentally teased is Anchorage. Anchorage, Alaska, right? So maybe, I don't know if that's going to happen this year or not. But I think that's the only airport they kind of mentioned. I think they mentioned a South Africa airport. I forget the name of that one. But they really haven't mentioned too much. Yellow is a plane that requires attention. Orange is an event plane. Yeah. My problem is orange and yellow are super close. When you're looking at the 2D map especially. This is yellow. This is orange. I mean, when I zoom in, it's not that bad. When I'm looking at a quick glance, you see it on the top right and then on the bottom left, it's tiny. It's very tiny. That's hard to see. So maybe that's not a good example. Is there a tilted landing gear? You associate red, orange with emergency. I mean, event planes are kind of an emergency, right? They're only available for 24. They're only available to accept a contract for 24 hours. But after that, there's no emergency after that. No emergency after that. Really want to see the A225 take off though. A long line of planes here. Oh well. Have to make them all line up and go. You think Bali must be added? I wouldn't be surprised if Dubai is added too. I think they've teased that in the past, but then they had to kind of pause on that plan, that airport. But, plans change and things change. How MSY was supposed to be the 5th airport in the game, and we got it a couple months ago. That was pretty amazing, by the way. there a naming feature in the livery or logo? Oh, that's coming in the future. I'm pretty sure. Not now. No custom. I think that's coming with alliances actually, where you can like customize your own livery. Don't you have to update your Discord after the update? 100%. We should probably prepare for it now, especially since we have like 9 days until the end of the quarter, right? So we should probably add GRU. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I don't know. I have so many things I need to do tomorrow. It's crazy. Oh, so crazy. Hey, whatever. I have to do it. Ray said it should be a brighter yellow. That makes sense, yeah. I just want to see this 225 take off. If Dubai is added, you're gonna add an A380 fleet there. Nice. Please explain that right filter panel. Sure thing. It's actually pretty useful. Well, pretty easy once you have the game, especially. Yo, Soy Fran, thank you for joining the membership. Appreciate that. Our economy membership. Make sure you join the Phat Airlines Discord, right? And you can get access to some of our VIP channels. All right, you want to know about the filters on the right here. So the filters on the right are actually like it's really easy once you have access to the game. You could remove the filters. Well, you click on it and it tells you what it is. So you got arriving airplanes. You got airplanes that are on the airport, right? So they need handling. That was helpful. You got airplanes that are departing airplanes. Let's see, take off. Then you have handling's taking too long. So this stacks with one of these, right? So you have to make sure you're aware of that. You have favorited airplanes, which also stacks with those top three. You have requiring action, which also stacks with these three. Then you have other player planes. So you can have up to 3 filters on at once. Other player planes, which is the blue color planes, right? Then you have the green planes, which are my airplanes. And then you have the orange ones, which are unique airplanes, but like this A225. So yeah, it looks like you can have up to 3 filters on at once. Oh wow, you can have more than 3. But these 3 are unique, and then these 3 are unique as well. And then the ones in the middle, you can turn on all 3 of those too. All right, we want to get this A225 taking off, and then we will go to, I think, IAD. I want to show some of the block stands there. Yo, thanks SF Striker, appreciate you, man. He said thanks for that special stream, Fat. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, and thank you to the devs for letting me, trusting me to do the stream, right? It's a lot of trust because it's a developer build. It's a lot of effort they have to go through in order to get me access, to the developer build. There's a lot of things Kubasan and team had to do on the back end in order for me to have access. So it's a lot of work for them, just for me to stream it. But I know they're looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say, what kind of positive and constructive criticism you might have as well. I'm looking forward to giving them some of the stuff you guys told me as well. Developers should focus on little details like tires on landing gear not moving. But like, everybody plays the game differently, right? I'm not focused on those smaller details. I'm not playing Microsoft Flight Sim, I'm playing World of Airports. So when I'm playing World of Airports, I'm playing the game. The gaming part of it. I know some people though, they're playing a simulation, and I know somebody was here earlier who said they like to do the flights that are happening in real life. So I get it, but not only that, but you also have people who have older airplanes, right? Or not older airplanes, they have older phones, and this is a mobile game. It's not a computer game. So you can't just say, you can't just download more RAM onto your phone, like you can on your computer. I know you can't download RAM on your computer. Anyways, you can't just download more RAM on your phone. You know, it's not going to happen. You have to literally buy a new phone in order to get, you know, a better experience on your phone. Whereas on a computer, you can just buy different parts and upgrade it. And there's a lot more freedom on PC. And this is a mobile game, so you got to keep that in mind too. Really great, really detailed for a mobile game. All right, so here we are with the IAD stands, and we're gonna click the stands, and you'll see here's A5 and A7. So A5, it looks like if you have an F plane here, it's gonna block A7. A7, if you have an F plane here, and this is where maybe it doesn't do it as great of a job once you have it unlocked. It doesn't really show you, but I'm pretty sure if you have an F plane here, it blocks the F over here and the EF over here. Let's go back to construction menu. F plane here, you're gonna block E and F on A7. So here we go. F plane here, you're gonna block E and F. So just some more blocking stands that are happening here at Washington IAD, which didn't happen before. I mean, look at the way it's angled, right? So it makes a little bit of sense. I've only been to IAD once, and that was kind of by accident. So I'm not too familiar with the airport myself. Oh, look at this. You put a B stand here, and you block this one from having a B. That's interesting. Is that the same over here? No, it's not the same over here. Oh, maybe I had to click it. That's why. Yeah, it is the same over here. Oh, that's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. None of these stands get blocked. These stands don't get blocked. On this side, huh? That's pretty cool. And then, of course, you only have one size over here, just C size over here, so nothing gets blocked here. Even though I was in a CRJ and we parked over here at I think C22 is where my CRJ was parked. And then I had to, it was funny because I missed my flight to Cancun, so we had to like change our flight so that way we can make it to Cancun for vacation. So we took a flight from New Jersey to IAD. We parked at C22, and then no, actually I think it was C20. I think it was C20 because I remember having to walk through this, and then we had to go walk inside. We used the bathroom, which was like over here, and then we our stand was D2, which had the 738 or 739 Max, I think it was the Max 9. So our CRJ parked over here, one of these two stands, and we departed from here. And I was like, I forgot how to play IAD. I forgot IAD because I was like, oh my gosh. I looked at my ticket and my layover, and I was like, we're gonna have to change terminals because we're going from C to D, and completely forgetting that like I know this airport. Going from C20 to D2 is like next door, but like, yeah, I wasn't thinking WOA. Duelist has block stands. Yes, it does. On this side of the, so these two stands are not blocked, but once you start A5 all the way down to like B7, you're gonna start getting blocked. Did all the airports get reworked? I don't think all of them got reworked, but I mean, all of them got the UI update, right? All from what I could tell, a lot the ones that I looked at got new levels added. Not all of them need to have block stands, right? That's not a thing in all the airports. Oh, here's another thing. Look at this. You park a G plane here, and you're blocking, I think, X 8 and 6. And that's the only G stand, I think it is. Yeah, there's no other G stand here. That's going to be interesting. I think it makes sense. And it's funny, I would always park my A225s over here anyways. So, I'm glad I'm realistic. Fanmei says respect to the devs. I agree. Yeah. They really cooked with this one, right? They really got a lot of like quality of life things, and like the attention to detail the plane sizes, I was a little like concerned about how confusing that would be, but the way they implemented it with their UI really makes it easy to understand. Does current gameplay have ICAO class for stand? So currently it's just small, medium, large, and X. So SMLX. Yeah, it's just SMLX. Now it's after 3.0, it's going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right. So let me make sure here. Yeah, I got the G planes landing first, and I got the G planes being assigned first. When you first come in, by the way, to these airports, like a brand new airport, for some reason, and I don't know why it's sorted that way, and I don't know if I should suggest this to the devs, but by default, it has its A, B, C, D all the way down to G. So on every airport, and for approach and for delivery, I'm adjusting so that way I have G on the top, or G somewhere in the top 4. Don't know if that's on like a decision that they made, or just like something they didn't think about, but or maybe it doesn't really matter as much. Who knows? Can you go to San Diego? I probably won't go to San Diego. I have San Diego unlocked, but I haven't played it. When are you gonna play St. Martin? In 20 minutes. We're gonna do the tower manager here, play some IAD so you could see some of this airport. You know, it's a little different because I don't have a lot of X planes like I do on my main account. I have one A388 which is landing right now. I have one A388. I have a Concorde, but they're not gonna get blocked, you know. Thank you, Ray. Peace out, man. Ray said good night, Phat. Great and awesome stream as always. We see the planes that are in the sky. No, so when you're in the radar, it's like essentially the same as how it is right now. You can see there's a little bit more filters. I'll go there actually. We don't have any planes in it. There's no active flight, so it doesn't really help you. But it's still the same. There's no when you click on a flight, you can't see anything. You got a legend. You got planes on different colors for mine, players, and other airlines. But other than that, it's all the same. Pretty much exactly the same. In this stand, we can buy all categories of the stand. So you have to, it looks like, well, okay, let's go actually back to IAD, because IAD is kind of unique here too. Because IAD in these stands over here, you do not have to buy A, B, C, and D. Or A, B, and C, right? Those stands, and I probably should have left one blank for preview purposes, and I forgot to do that, so I apologize. I'm sorry about that. But in this airport, and these stands here, even down here, did all of them, man. What was I thinking? I got too hyped, I guess. But anyways, yeah, you don't have to buy A, B, and C, right? So A is 2,000, B is another 4,000, and C was how much? Forgot. So it goes from 6 to 12. So C is another 6,000. So that 12,000 that you had to spend, you don't have to spend on this. So you just have to buy D, which I think is like what, another like 10,000 or 12,000. Then you have to buy E and F. So these stands are like kind of actually technically cheaper to buy than these, like, or than like, for example, over here when you have these cargo. Well, actually these cargo also the same way. But like in the other airports, I would say, where you have to buy A, B, C as well in those stands. So this airport, you only have to unlock D, E, and F. You don't have to unlock A, B, and C. So you save $12,000 on your purchase price for unlocking the same F. Yeah, we're gonna go to St. Martin's soon, in like 20 minutes. Yeah, gameplay is pretty much the same, right? What it means, the stands are blocked. That means, do you have New Orleans? You see it. It's very good to see it there, but it means that, like, if you park an X plane at a certain stand, then another X plane can't go right next to it, or sometimes another L plane can't go right next to it. You know, so What it means here, and I'll bring it up on the construction menu, right? You have B1. If I park an F-size plane here at B1, I will not be able to park an E or an F-size plane in A7. Only a D-size plane can be parked at A7, while there's an F plane at B1. You know, so it goes on and on. And like in like MSY, for example, you're blocking entire stands. Like one stand can block 3 stands total, because of, you know, the way it works in that airport. Which category is the 757? So we did go through configure and buy. I'll do it again, and we'll just scroll through. So the DHC6 is the only A plane in the game that you can buy in your fleet right now. Let's see if what other planes get added, right? And then you're into B planes, which are pretty much all the other small planes. Once you're out of the B planes, you go into C planes. C planes, which we're here now, A19N. C planes are all the medium planes. It looks like every single medium plane is a C plane. So 757, I think it should be a C. Yes, it's a C right here, 752. Then we get into D planes, which starts with the A306. A306, 762, 763, 764, and the C-17. Then you got the E-Class, starting with the Concorde, A332, you know, A333, 343, 346, 359, 335K, AN22, 744. 722 is also E, 773, 77L, you know, so on. And once we get to F are the X planes. A388, 748, 748F. No G planes we can buy in our fleet, but that looks like it's only the A225. Man, my nose is so stuffy. So it's like a train to have one category, we need to unlock the previous. That is correct. Yep, for the stands, unlocking the stands. It's essentially every gate is going to have to be a multi-gate, which makes a few people a little sad, right? I mean, I get that. So I was saying before earlier, and I'll say it again now. Sorry to repeat myself to those of you who are still here from the beginning, but you know, people come in, people leave, people join. But at a new airport like GRU, or even like any new airport, like let's say this is my new airport, it might make sense for you just to, if you need more handling crew or more contract capacity, and I know I'm going to do this at GRU, is I'm just going to buy some A stands for $2,000. Because I can get another X plane contract, I can get another L contract, or even an M contract, right? Or sorry, C, D, E, F contract, and I can get all the stands technically unlocked. And then, you know, as I need more stands, then I can just go ahead and upgrade to the next size. You can also buy it all at once. It costs the same as if you were to buy them separately. But I think that's going to be the strategy to go. It's like you're paying $2,000 to get one more contract capacity and one more handling crew. Compare that to like when you go in here to get one more handling crew, you got to pay 10 gold planes. I'll pay $2,000 every day. I mean, it's only once, right? You can only do it once. But I'll pay $2,000 over 10 gold planes, 100%. More work for me with the bot. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to separate it, huh? I don't think we're not. I don't know how we're gonna handle that. We're gonna have to talk. You're not going fully realistic? Gotcha. Good to know. Realistically, it would be D. Just want to know how it actually is in the game. Gotcha. That's cool. Yeah, we're not playing GRU today. GRU we're saving for the actual update when it comes out. Or if the devs want me to play GRU early, then we can do a preview of it too. But I know for this preview stream, and for me testing it, they really wanted me to focus on the gameplay, show how similar it is, kind of maybe alleviate some people's concerns, because there was a lot of people who once they saw like the dev blog post, this dev blog over here, and they saw the new UI that Kuba shared, a lot of people in this were kind of concerned that things were going to be majorly different. A lot of people were excited, of course, but like a lot of people were concerned. So he wanted to make sure that we show how it's like very similar. Not a lot of things are different. There are a few things that are different, but those are all things that we can easily overcome, I believe. How you buy airlines? You don't really buy airlines, you buy contracts with them. So you can do like a local contract, which you can get for free every hour. You can do a regional contract when you're a 2-star airport, which is every 24 hours. Or you can do an international contract, which you can get when you're a 3-star airport or an international airport every 48 hours. You can also go to map contracts here. And this is the same exact way it works in the current game. You can go to an airport that you want, look at the contract offers that they have, and you can buy the contract. Now, if it's a local contract and you're a local airport, you don't have to pay silver airplanes. But if it's a regional airplane or contract, and you're not a regional airport, you're gonna get charged silver planes for it. Once you have regional status, then you don't get charged silver planes for it. And then finally, the same thing for international contracts. You go to international airport, and you'll see you're going to have to pay silver planes for it. So once you're a 3-star airport international, you no longer have to pay silver planes to get that contract. You still have to pay Wallace for it. I don't really do a lot of airline contracts like that. That's also why my Wikipedia is probably abysmal. But hey, that's how you do it, man. A plane Concorde can only unlock an event in hangar, so you can buy the Concorde for 1,000 gold planes. And once you buy any plane, the first time you buy a plane, you have to pay gold planes and Wallers for that plane. Okay, once you pay gold planes for that first time, you don't have to pay gold planes ever again in any airport for that airplane, and for that airplane's livery if you bought a livery with it, or if you buy a livery in the future. Now, when you buy a livery, that livery unlocks only for that one plane model. I had a few people ask me questions, if you unlocked basic 2, does that unlock basic 2 for all of the airplanes? And no, I thought that was a great question, because I mean that's a logical question, but no, it does not work that way. So just something to think about. See you later, duck. Can we see the runway lights? Oh yeah, let's go for it. So this is the runway, right? This runway is active. This is the active runway, 19L. So you'll see here, right? Active runway. Then you turn it around, lights are off. Turn it this way, lights are on. Go over here, let's see, do we have any? Yeah, we got the... Pretty cool. Now we can zoom out over here. Not a lot of room over there. I can't go that way. Hard stop over there. Oh, here's another runway. Let's see how this looks. The lights. That's so cool, man. I don't spend a lot of time looking at the lights though, but like maybe I will now, who knows. Here's another runway, right? Runway over here, 19C. I still have to learn what all the lights mean. I'm not like perfectly familiar, so I'm sorry I couldn't give commentary there, but I know I will learn it, especially you guys will help me learn it, so thank you guys. Alright, let's see what else we got. See you later, SF Striker. See, is Boeing fan leaving too? Duck's leaving. NS is lurking. Thanks for lurking, man. Avandi, thank you for subscribing. Thing about 19L, at least for me, I rarely see planes landing on it. You know, yeah, I'm not sure, but I do know when we departed from D2 over around here, we did depart from 19L, so that was pretty cool. When will it be added for us? There's no exact release date yet. We were told Q1, and that's still the latest news that we have. Q1 means pretty much by the end of this month. I'm sure if there's an update, the WOA devs will make sure we know. But I mean, as you can see here, it's playable. Everything's functional. It's working fine. You know, there are. I'm not showing you. There's like a few bugs. One bug I showed you by accident on stream, but you know, not that major. A few other bugs that I saw as well. You know, maybe a little bit more major, but I'm not showing you guys. But you know, ultimately, the cool thing is I know how to work around those bugs, and I know how to duplicate them. So I'm working with the devs to make sure that they have what they can. They have the tools or the information they need in order to fix the game. Any new airlines? Probably. You know, GRU is coming out. GRU is a whole new airport in a whole new continent in a whole new part of the world. So there's probably going to be at least some new local contracts, probably some new regional contracts, and of course some what else? Of course, maybe some new international. All right, we want to go to St. Martin. Some of you guys were asking about it, and I know it's getting late for me. A lot of people are heading out, so let's go to St. Martin now. People wanted to know about shared stands here. See if there's any blocking stands. I don't think there were any. No, none of these stands are getting blocked. Cargo is still up to size C, so definitely not size F. Maybe what you're thinking, like one stand in the middle, which would be F. But yeah, no blocking stands here at St. Martin, so everything's good here. You know, I have a Concorde here as well. Where is it? There it is. I have a Concorde, so you can still have the Concorde here. I should have played the landing minigame. Oh well. You have early access? Yes. Thanks to the devs, you know, the developers invited me to do a early 3.0 preview stream. Really lucky to be working with them with this. They gave me access to the developer build, and I'm on the developer server right now. So one thing I want to just reiterate is, even though like I don't have my levels here, that's not what's going to happen for you guys. You guys are still going to have all of your levels. Even me, I'm going to still have my levels when the game when it comes out, when the update comes out. It's just because I'm on a developer server, I have no levels to start with, you know. Release date, please. We don't have a release date accorded. Still Q1, which is you know, by the end of the month. So at the very latest, you gotta wait till March 31st, as far as the information we have so far. Does that mean the A380 won't be able to land at St. Martin? I don't think it was ever able to land at St. Martin unless you had one yourself, or an event plane. I'm glad we can still own Concords at St. Martin. Yeah, you can still, and it could go to GRU, which is pretty cool. That was one thing I was really interested in. You probably could have checked it before the update, before 3.0, right? And you probably could have told me that already. But I don't know. I like to check it when the update's out. There's no McDonnell Douglas plane in the game? Probably eventually, yeah. What's your favorite update now, till now that you play? I'm not sure what you mean, but if you're asking about like what's my favorite feature in 3.0, it's definitely the handling crew slider. I do love also the feature that we have with the tower manager, the ATC, which I probably should activate, but I want the A388 to land next, and I want to land it myself. So I like the tower manager features. You can activate all. This is like a somebody who has thousands of silver planes is definitely, and hundreds of contracts to handle. This is something that we're gonna use a lot. For newer players, it might not matter to you, or not even newer players, but players who are not like daily. Let's accept this contract. I also really like the settings here, which is like weird to say that I like the settings, but like if you want to like play landing mini game and not all the mini games, you can turn on the landing mini game switch. Now, my criticism here is that if you have the arrival manager on, the landing mini games won't happen, right? Because the approach manager, the landing manager, they're going to land your planes. So that's my only I don't know how to work that. But I like having the option to have all my own planes with it turned on. So you see I turned on the switch, and it's turned on right here. So we're going to go ahead and select the stand, and let's play some landing minigame. We're going to look at the runway
40,
here too.
30.
We're going
20,
to land on the beach people.
10.
You just hope it doesn't come out next week. You'll be an Air Corps. Oh, nice. Now, even if it does come out next week, nothing to worry about hidden. We'll update the bot when we're ready, because we got to think about, do I want to add 7 channels, right? Do I want to really add 7 new channels? There's probably a better way to do it. Like AB. Actually, we probably just keep it the same way. We probably just all the L planes, like the only different, all the L planes are D or E. All the X planes are F or G. But the G plane is a special plane. So I think we would just have to change the channel name. We'll keep it like L plane, but also like D and E, so people who are playing the game can associate it with it. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. SF Striker said, yesterday I compared the landing of a Concorde with another L plane, and it has 10 seconds of difference to finish the park. Nice. The difference isn't in the taxi time, but the landing time, because Concorde is really fast than landing. Oh. 737 reworked? I mean, all the planes are going to get reworked. So, almost like a pointless question to ask. And, we don't know when it's going to get reworked. It's kind of like, for us, it's like almost seemingly random, but the devs have like their own, procedure. Yeah, you see how the lights change here, even here? See the red lights turn into yellow? Yep. Still don't know what it means, but it's cool. Really cool. Yo, congrats for unlocking Bari. Please don't spam. But yeah, for Bari, I mean, at Bari, you really want to like unlock the L stand as soon as possible, and maybe try to get a player contract, so that way you can get some L planes handling. Because otherwise, you're going to be really struggling for wallers in that airport. But you also don't want to have too many L planes. It's a delicate balance. So you want to have some L planes, but you don't want to have too many. You want to have a lot more medium planes, but you also need small planes so that way you can still handle everything at once. So delicate balance is the name of the game there. Can we see the CRJ planes? I did show the CRJ-9. I didn't show any of the other ones. Is there a change in the player planes? No, nothing that I think so. When will 3.0 release, guy? Call me guy. No, we don't know, man. Everything. I mean, we know what we know, and what we know so far is that it's expected to come in the first quarter of the year, which and we're in the third month of the first quarter, which is the final month of the first quarter. So we're expecting it probably before March 31st or on March 31st. As far as we know, there's no additional information that's been shared yet. And believe me, if I had information to share about it, I would share it. But I know the devs are really working hard to make sure this is a great and fantastic update for everybody. Is there a reason I shouldn't claim now new planes? I would just advise on holding off on the airplanes that you can use at any airport. So like, I know it's a different UI here, but like right here at level 13, you get an E190. It doesn't say only in St. Martin. In your game right now, you'll have a little St. Martin tag on these, like SXM, a little airport tag on the top left. This one won't have any airport tag. So what that means, those airplanes, I would say hold off on claiming, but all the airplanes that you can claim at only one airport, it makes all the sense to claim it immediately, in my opinion. For the airplanes that are usable in any airport, that's where you want to think about it. So, for example, I got some planes like that are usable in any airport. I know I'm going to use at least 2 or 3 of them, at least 2 of them in GRU. You know, 1 L and 1 medium, so that way I can make some more money. And it's an airplane that I don't have to buy with Wallers, right? So that's really nice too. Pat, now that you start your brand new Prague Empire, things will be different with new update because of the sizes. Yeah, but it's still kind of very similar. So I'm gonna have to update a few things like strategies, but it's still very, very similar. The only strategy that's gonna change is buying the stands. And actually, we should probably check out Prague, but we could probably check it out when 3.0 comes out and we play on the new account, you know, the Phat Empire. But I'm thinking, you know, the main strategy that changes there is about buying stands. Like now I don't have to save up for an X stand. I can just buy the A stand, right? Buy the A stand because eventually I'm going to have to upgrade it to an F stand. So I'll buy the A stand today as soon as I can. I get that contract capacity. I get somebody else to give me a contract. Then I get to handle like a few more L planes, you know, because I have that extra contract capacity, which is another 2 or 3,000 Wallers if there's somebody else's. You know, 3 to 13,000 if they're my own planes, and then I use that money to unlock the B, and then I keep upgrading it, or I unlock another A if I want more contract capacity. So I think that's really the only thing that changes, because before it made no sense to buy a small stand. You know, I was explicitly saying don't make any of these gates multi-gates, right? But over here, you have to make them multi-gates. You have to buy the smaller size. So might as well buy the A stand as soon as possible, in my opinion. We'll see what that looks like. I think that's the route I'm going to go when GRU comes out, and I'm interested to see if anybody else has a different plan after, you know, watching me play for a while. I think that's the plan that makes the most sense. I'm never. I could be wrong, you know. I don't claim to know it all. I don't claim to be perfect, and everybody has different strategies, which is awesome. ID is going to be a nightmare to manage and strategize. I don't think it's going to be that bad, man. I haven't played it with a bunch of X and L planes yet, so maybe, right? Things are a lot different in the early levels of the airport than like in the later levels when you have a bunch of X and L contracts and things like that. So I know things definitely change once you have bigger planes, but I'm still trying to think ahead to that moment, and I don't think it's going to be like that different. Ahmed said we need the 748 reworked. Yeah, I know all the planes are gonna get reworked, bro. So it's all about like when it's gonna get reworked, right? That's the main question. How soon? How long is it gonna take? That's the question we don't know the answer to. But they're all gonna get reworked. I was telling people here earlier, but the developers, when they're reworking a plane, they have to essentially, for them, it's like they're building a whole new plane by scratch, you know, by hand, from the beginning. So it's a brand new plane for them, even though for us it's just a remodel. So you have to redo the plane, they have to redo the animations, they have to redo the liveries. Everything is starting from scratch. And I think with the newer models, they kind of fixed that error, right? So it's a lot easier for like the newer models for them to update in the future. But yeah, I mean, a lot has changed since World War 1.0, right? The developers have learned a lot. They've improved a lot of the back-end systems, some of them that we don't really see, some systems that we do see. They keep us informed, they let us know what they're working on, and you know, I appreciate it. You know, this free one keeps moving around. Does that bother anybody else? Like when you're trying to claim the free handling crew, and it's like sometimes it's on the top right, sometimes it's on the bottom left. What are the things that become more expensive with the update? I guess certain stands, right? Buying a G stand is super expensive, like 60,000, right? Buying an X stand is also a little bit more expensive. It's like 42,000. But it's also cheaper, right? Because now you also, once you buy the X stand, you don't have to buy the L or the M or the S because it's all part of that chain. So stands could be a little bit more expensive potentially. It depends on your perspective. Tower managers are 100% more expensive. Let's spend a little bit of time there. It's hard to say because I have them active, but we'll go back there to a new airport when it's not active, and we'll talk about the tower managers. How is the settings appearing like this? So we're doing a World of Airports preview. This is the World of Airports update 3.0 that's coming out in the first quarter of 2025. So it should be coming out maybe in the next, you know, time in the next 9 or 10 days, right? Potentially. So this is a developer preview. I'm not a developer, but the developers gave me access to their developer build and the developer server. So I'm playing right now on the developer server, on the developer build. I have their blessing to show the preview, give you guys a full preview. So if you go on YouTube, you'll see, you can rewind all the way to the beginning of the stream. I really went into depth about the UI and the little features. Now we're just playing the game. I'm just answering questions, reading your guys' feedback, so that way I could take some of this back to the developers if there's anything that they can potentially work on, or you know, something that a lot of people are annoyed about or something. What's up, Endrick? Oh, my back hurts, man. I got a stuffy nose. My back hurts. I'm getting tired. I think it's almost time. But I'm going to switch airports once this in 4 minutes. How about that? Yeah. It needs 13 minutes. But there's no rush on that. I want to get this one out of there so that way I can get another handling on it. Alright, so yeah. What else is more expensive? So just the stands, potentially, depending upon your perspective. The tower managers are 100% more expensive. I think they changed the purchase pricing for the equipment here. But I also don't have that memorized. Because it's like, if I need it, I just buy it, right? It's not something that like I pay attention to. At the end of the... in a new airport, you pay a lot of attention to it, but when you're at the end game, you don't really, you just buy it because you need it. Like, oh man, I have too many planes being handled. I need to buy another cleaning. Okay, I'm just gonna spend whatever amount they want. So I'm not sure. I think they got, some of them are more expensive. I think like fuel was 3,000. Now it's 3,500. So that's a little bit more expensive, right? So that might be another thing you might want to buy, right? Buy now, not later. All right, I'm gonna switch airports. What was the last airport we wanted to go to? So we went to IAD, we went to New Orleans, we went to St. Martin. We're not going to GRU, sorry guys. We went to LHR, we went to Leipzig. We could go to Innsbruck. We got Muscat, we got Bangkok. So I think we'll go to Muscat or. Actually, hold on. What do you guys want? Now we're not doing GRU. Sorry. If you leave an airport while the tower manager is on, does that clock keep going? Yes. It actually tells you in the messages, in the tower manager message. We'll go to Innsbruck just so I could show you guys the tower manager, and we could talk about the price increase there. Alright, so at Innsbruck, right, the tower manager, this is what I want to talk about. We got more features with the tower manager, so you can prefer to favorite airplanes, and you can choose the arrival sequence. We also have different speed up settings, which we had before. We had 2%, 4, and 6, so I'm not sure what this high, medium, or mild means, but probably about the same. You have the duration as well, where you can extend the duration. So before, you would activate one, like the mild, or what I consider mild, the lowest version, for 15 minutes for, what was it, 15 silver planes. Now it's 35. Alright, so, and you only get 10 minutes, not 15 minutes. So a big change there. For high, you would get 15. How much? Oh shoot, I can't even think. For high, I think, yeah, it would be 40. Would it be 45 silver planes? Alright, he's spamming. Oh, thank you, Hammy. Yeah, so I forget how much the 6% was, but I think it's 60 and then 45, right? Something like that. So it's a lot more expensive. It's a shorter duration. We get a few more features on the arrival and departure manager, and I guess technically the departure manager too, with the departure approach departure ratio. Ground now clearly says that it manages runway crossings, which it didn't before, but so it is more expensive. I'm wondering how that's going to impact new players, because it kind of makes it like new players really won't be able to use the managers. If you want to use all of them, all the managers cost 140, and you only get 100 silver planes a day for free. So I'm wondering, like, I was thinking about if I should like talk to the developers and suggest that they give like us 150 silver planes for free a day, but like, do you really need to activate all the tower managers for 10 minutes? I don't know. But I know before you could activate 30 minutes of tower managers for 100 silver planes. So that was really nice. And that was like my recommendation for some people. Like, just put 30 minutes on the tower managers and you can just play the game and like do well. So tower managers are more expensive. That is something that's something to think about. You know, you got the shared stands here, or stands, so you have to buy each of the stands upgrade. You have to upgrade all of them. That's a little bit different, very different than it was before. Everything is still ABC here, so it's still A and small and mediums. What else? I picked up some event planes yesterday that I didn't handle, but yeah, I think that is it for me for today, guys. I'm starting to get a headache. My nose, I can't breathe out my left nostril. My back hurts. I'm tired. I didn't have coffee today. I was on a 4.5 hour flight from Vegas to New Jersey this morning. I was at a work conference this past week from Monday to Friday. So I am ready to sleep in my bed. Guys, yeah, I think it's just like a long day. That's all it was. You know, I was up at the equivalent of 7 a.m. my time. So 7 to 12 is a long day for me. Yeah, guys, join the Phat Airlines Discord. If you have any questions about the update, now that you've seen it, now that we've done the preview, we can talk about it in the gameplay chat. We can talk about it there. I'm also in the World of Airports Discord. but I am selectively active there. It depends on a lot of different factors. Things are, yeah. I'm more active on the Phat Airlines Discord. That's where we can have a better conversation. That's where I can better answer your questions. And that's where I prefer to be. So join me on the Phat Airlines Discord, !Discord. Join the PhatAirlines.com newsletter. Once the update comes out, and maybe even before, we'll send out a new email newsletter so that way we can get you some more contracts. I'm going to look at setting up, actually, I think on my MacBook, I could probably play World of Airports with the current version. So I'm going to look at a way that I could play World of Airports current version while still also testing and finding bugs for the new version. That way we can have as bug-free of a version as possible, at least on a good device. You know, I know when you're playing on a lower end device, you're going to find a lot more bugs because things are just processing correctly. But I'm playing on an iPad Pro M4, which is like the newest iPad Pro. So any bugs that I find are not a performance issue. They're a different issue. Anyways, thank you all so much for being here. We had at our peak 385 people here on YouTube. I don't know what our peak was on Twitch. I'll find it out later, but oh my god, you guys are amazing. I appreciate all the support, especially since it's so late at night for a lot of you. Some of you guys, it's like early morning. Hammy, shout out to you. Thank you so much, Hammy. I appreciate your help. Mike, thank you so much for your help. Sloppy, you're probably sleeping by now too, but I appreciate your help. You know, thank you to the mods. Thank you to you guys, the viewers, for being here too, because honestly, it's a lot more fun when we have you guys here. I could probably spend an hour talking to myself, right? But when you guys are here asking me questions, it's pretty easy to spend 3, 4, 5 hours. The only thing is, right now I'm just so tired. But I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys enjoy. Join the Phat Airlines Discord, like I said, and I will see you guys very, very soon. All right, guys. Oh, yeah. When World of Airports 3.0 comes out, I'm going to be doing the stream. And I don't think you want to miss it. So we're going to be looking at GRU. We're going to be talking a couple things, and I am looking forward to it. Guys, have a great day, and I will see you. Bye, everybody.